Solo. Solando. That roller game shit for real, forever paid, nigga. Savage. I got 2-7. Just in case you hit me. Cup full. And I'm sipping that river. I got 2-7. Just in case you ain't hit me. Cup full. And I'm sipping that river. I got 2-7. Just in case you hit me. Cup full. And I'm sipping that river. I got 2-7. Just in case you ain't hit me. Cup full. And I'm sipping that rim. I move through traffic, surfing like Cody Maverick. Got work in the attic, shocking niggas like static. Money, I gotta have it. Sending shit long district. Man, money pilot, so that boy so diggy. Is you with it? Count digit. Fuck nigga quit it. Young slick, guess what? That boy, he might have been it. Is he serious? Banana clip drugs, I'm curious. Shoot a nigga when he stay young slick. I show him commands. I got 2-7. Just in case he hit me. Cup full. And I'm sipping that river. I got 2-7. Just in case he ain't hit me. Cup full. And I'm sipping that river. I got 2-7. Just in case he ain't hit me. Cup full. And I'm sipping that river. I got 2-7. Just in case he ain't hit me. Cup full. And I'm sipping that river. I got 2-7, 2 dunks, 2 trucks, 2 bitches, and they don't give 2 fucks. Ballin' on these niggas, Kobe Bryant, 2 clutch, 2 glocks, 2 shots, too many hoes, man. I need 2 spots. Can't spend no time, bitch. I need 2 clocks. I got me niggas, so fuck what you got. Got a cool lot before Peter Zone put a 2 lot. I got 2-7, just in case he hit me. Cup full. And I'm sipping that river. I got 2-7, just in case he ain't hit me. Cup full. And I'm sipping that river. I got 2-7, just in case he ain't hit me. Cup full. And I'm sipping that river. I got 2-7, just in case he ain't hit me. Cup full. And I'm sipping that river. Yeah. Shout out to the real niggas I fuck with. That's those spray game. Forever pace Orlando. That rolling shit, man. Cody Maverick, he on the way. That's those spray game. Forever pace Orlando. That rolling shit, man. Cody Maverick, he on the way.
No sound on the road now. Got gold now. Throwing salt on nigga moves. Fuck a headache, that shit through. Running game, you gon' win and lose. Everybody tryna ridicule, tryna level up my mind. All the tips with the grind. No sound on the road now. That only got gold now. Throwing salt on nigga moves. Fuck a headache, that shit through. Running game, you gon' win and lose. Everybody tryna ridicule, tryna level up my mind. All the tips with the grind.
They thought that I fell off, baby, I'm well off. Niggas want me gone, so I keep that for real. Lord on my side, so fuck the devil. Lord on my side, so fuck the devil. They thought that I fell off, baby, I'm well off. Nigga want me gone, so I keep that for real. Lord on my side, so fuck the devil. Lord on my side, so fuck the devil. And Lord on my side, and I ain't got no worries. Ain't scared of you niggas, ain't scared of police. Before I went to sleep, mama always told me, boy, get on your knees, ask God forgiveness. Even though I'm a sinner, boy, I hope I get it. The devil out here lurking and that nigga murking. The Lord on my side, now I like my belt up. The Lord on my side, nigga, fuck the devil. They thought that I fell off, but baby, I'm well off. Niggas want me gone, so I keep that for real. Lord on my side, so fuck the devil. Lord on my side, so fuck the devil. They thought that I fell low, but baby, I'm well low. Nigga want me gone, so I keep that for real. Lord on my side, so fuck the devil. Lord on my side, so fuck the devil.
Make sure you put your bag up for your attorneys. Niggas still finding demons. Niggas a kill for a bad ass reason. I thank the Lord that I'm breathing. I would never put my trust in a hoe, cause all of these bitches be scheming. Man, I'm tired of these pussy niggas hating. Clapping for a nigga for reaching. I got love for my trap niggas. Keep it Dutch flowing, getting rats nigga. You put your family on your back, still getting fat in the back nigga. Grew up in the gutter, boy, I never love it, but nigga, I'm thankful. Run up on all of you niggas, don't know me, my niggas, thank you. I sit on the treetop. Now I got red bottles, no Reeboks. I'm a spread game winner. Ain't never had shit, now I got the streets locked. Just told me nigga keep God first. You gon' be ahead of the game. Birds looking down on the nigga watching. I could've felt like the rain. Everybody on the gang. Fuck that shit, I love the flame thing. Never switch lanes, we just maintain. No risk game, on plain thing. Bitches always on the same thing. Got my dick print in a membrane. Street nigga, I'ma never change. Fuck the devil, I might snatch a chain.
That I fell over, baby, I'm well over. Niggas want me gone, so I keep that for real. Lord on my side, so fuck the devil. Lord on my side, so fuck the devil. They know that I fell over, baby, I'm well over. Nigga want me gone, so I keep that for real. Lord on my side, so fuck the devil. Lord on my side, so fuck the devil.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Black Wall Street Bets Taco Tuesday, where we talk about currency only. Today we are here with Professor Ras Natty.
Hey.
The floor is yours, Benjamin.
You gotta see the market, man. See how the market look. What it say? BTC down 3%. What's the what's the name of that boy? Hey, this how they catch people, and I got some important statistics. Yes, ma'am.
45.79%.
Okay, so 45%. Like I said, what we have learned in the market, like I said this last time, that we had this big drop, and I still see people doing the same shit. But what we learned last time is the higher the dominance for BTC is, the better it is for the market. But what we are expecting, as far as traders and as far as technicals, right? We're expecting a pullback. We're not sure if it's this 44, but we don't think so, because we had strong supports at the 45 levels. The next support that I think after this is the 42. But prior to this whole rise, because what I'm saying is up recently, but prior to this whole rise, we had strong support at 44. So there could still be strong support there from, like I said, previous buyers and things like that. So there's also strong support at 44. If we drop to 44, then we're looking to go to 42. If you drop to 42, then you're looking to go to 37s. All right. So if you hear anybody in the market right now, they all saying, we need to hold these levels. If we hold these levels, right? Because that's important to people, right? Because I guess depends on what they're looking at.
I was about to say, because Bitcoin's not like that. It doesn't have that Bro E HODL-esque about it. I wish it did, but it doesn't.
And what you mean?
It isn't like hold on for dear life for a lot of people. It's more so of a way to just trade. So, like, okay, obviously you have the Bitcoin maximists that are just going to hold, not for dear life, but hold because they understand the asset.
They hodling, bro. They're just holding on, bro. That's what we all do. We all hodl tokens. We all get our tokens and we put them in our bank. I don't know what hold on for dear life mean, but I know that when Bitcoin maximalists and just people, I don't even want to just say Bitcoin max, it's just people in the space. People in the space, when they're saying they're holding some shit, bro, it's not like these meme stalkers. I think that the hodls are getting mixed up. Bitcoin hodlers mean that, nigga, I've been hot, like I will be able to show y'all somebody, but the white boy that came up with this term, he's a Bitcoiner, right? Mm-hmm. And he came up with the term because everybody to talk about his name is literally HODL on Twitter. So yeah, y'all go in there and find this white guy HODL. He's been doing this. He's probably like 26 right now, and he's a couple millions up, right? Because he bought I think at $1,000, if not way less than that, and he bought like 4 or 5 of them, and he HODLed, meaning he held, not for dear life. You in Bitcoin, bro. You don't hold for dear life over here, bro.
So should we even say HODL?
That's what HODL mean. He's the creator of the word. This nigga that started this whole hodling shit was this white boy that held his Bitcoin because he knew it was gonna grow, and he's still hodling to this day. He's not holding on for dear life. He's hodling because he's holding. You feel me? It's just, I just think there's a misnomer in words because meme stalkers get in there, and meme stalkers, they're connected to big tech. What I mean by that, big tech doesn't know anything about trading. The same thing like going to your broker. Your broker might say some shit, but they don't know about trading. They don't do trading. The same thing with these niggas that's writing articles. Those are not traders writing articles, right? Those are not traders saying this is the terms that we're using. Those are people looking inside, and they like, yo, inside, like when they say HODL, they mean hold on for dear life, because they were saying HODL AMC because you watch what happened. Before, we was never saying that for no other tokens. That's why we had a whole running joke like, bro, don't go to sleep with shit. Because people started holding shit coins. That's why I'm saying, because maybe they changed the terminology to hold on for dear life. But I want us to be clear, right? I want us to be very, very clear on these words. And that's what I hate about America and people that don't study history. I heard Terrence McKenna say this. Terrence McKenna say, bro, we're so bad in America, we can't put a significant icon 100 years within its debt. Even right now, if I ask a black power nigga, yo, when did Booker T. Washington die? Niggas don't know. We don't know any history, bro. We don't have no concepts of what just happened. So we'll say crazy shit. So I just want to put it back in the context. If any of us have heard this terminology, I know that people try to say, yo, no, there's acronyms. No. There was never acronyms for this. Because if you go back to the people that started it, they wasn't using it for acronyms. If you're in the rooms with these people, they're not using it for acronyms.
So wait, do you think Bitcoin maximists are using the word HODL or hold?
HODL. I'm in the room with these people. That's what I'm telling you. The guy name is actually HODL on Twitter. He's in the room with Lamar Wilson and all these big bros. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, you can go in these rooms and hear these people talk. This is why I was telling you about the same thing with laser eyes. Bitcoin maximalists don't believe in that. But if you go to these other people, they have a website where they tell you the colors for how much Bitcoins you have. That doesn't mean that. Because I'm listening to Lamar Wilson, I'm listening to this white boy HODL, I'm listening to all these different people that have something to offer within the space, and none of them is saying that. And I see that a lot with people coming from the outside. I remember Lamar trying to talk to somebody, and he was just so adamant about what he thought he knew. And he's like, yo, I'm in the space, bro. I was literally the only American in the space around 2000, I think 11, he said 2012. He was the only American, this black man, Lamar Wilson. Go Google him. So y'all need to catch up on things, right? We have to catch up on things.
What are you saying? Because he was in the space, he should know what HODL means? Or
no, I'm telling you that these terms are their terms. You just asked me what Bitcoin maximalist saying this. I'm telling you that the white boy that's actually a Bitcoin
26-year-old.
I don't get it.
That seems like a trendy word that just was created. If an older person was in it, like, you're saying that they're guaranteed to be familiar with these trendy terms that they're coming up with as 26-year-olds?
What are you saying? Who's been trendy with what words?
HODL, just to the moon, all these little seance.
Is who familiar with the word? I'm confused.
Older Bitcoin holders.
That's irrelevant, because I'm telling you, the white boy that started the word is in the room with Lamar Wilson, and he has the highest respect. I'm telling you that the only people that don't respect Lamar Wilson, because y'all don't understand what he did. He was the only person in America to have an actual wallet. Like, I don't think you get what that means. So, like, to say, do you know this term? Do you know? Y'all can keep that for the birds, right? If you don't know the term, then I ain't using it no more, right? If y'all telling me the term means something else, I ain't using it no more, right? I'm in the room with HODL. I don't know if that mean anything to y'all. This y'all can go on Twitter. Like, I'm tired of saying the same word, because the nigga asking me, how can no, this 26-year-old is in the room sitting at the feet of the gods, just like these just like Herodotus and all these Greek motherfuckers sat at the feet of the god, and motherfuckers forgot who they sat at the feet of. We're like, yo, what about Homer writing the books? It's like, yo, but Homer told you that he sat at the feet of the gods. Herodotus told you that he learned all this from them, and then this bro told you that he learned it from them. But you keep on telling me about this person to try to validate your information, but it's their shit, right? You come to me and you say, yo, T Catholic mean this, but it's their shit. So you can't tell me what it mean in your mind, because you say, yo, but it seems like it. All right, cool. So you telling me that people that bought Bitcoin, right, at $200, $3,000 or whatever, is saying hold on for their dear life when Bitcoin went to 28K?
No, all I'm trying to figure out is why would an older man just not say hold? I'm holding Bitcoin versus saying.
Is like I don't know why you keep on going back to that. It's HODL's word. HODL is just sitting at the feet of Lamar Wilson and these people because he has high respect for the space. People that come into space, y'all don't do the research on who set the space up for y'all. So people say any fucking thing. I'm telling you, it's not Lamar Wilson saying this word. Lamar Wilson is in these rooms and he's a verified person in this room. He's the person that, and the difference that I could say, I want to make myself big because I want people to hear it. The difference I can say between white people and black people, bro, white people have a respect for people that done things. Black people have a respect for people that say things, right? So if I can go on an article and find some bullshit, I will believe that more than somebody that was actually in the space. I witnessed this too many times to not believe this wholeheartedly, right? I watched Lamar Wilson in the room, bro. And this dude, I maybe because he felt like he said he was a lawyer or going to be a lawyer or something. So he just felt like he had to argue his point. And Lamar was like, yo, I'm telling you what we do in this space. Like, I don't know what you're trying to make up, but when none of y'all was in this space, I was in this space. I'm not trying to make shit up. I'm not trying to tell you none of this. I'm telling you this. Like, I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. Like, those are little bullshit ass words that people put on us. But nevertheless, I only believe in Bitcoin. So if you want to call me a Bitcoin maximalist, cool. But when you start telling me that terms mean new things, I just can't rock with it, right? I really can't rock with it. But hey, to each his own, right? To each his own, and that's what I've been figuring out more.
With that being said, do you know why he would switch the words around on the HODL versus just saying?
Because hold isn't spelled like that. HODL mean holding. It simply mean holding. That's all it mean. I'm hodling, I'm holding. That's all it mean. Instead of saying holding, nigga say I'm hodling.
So hodling is a word? Or is that something he created?
This is what HODL created.
So,
like, I think you should just go on Twitter and just find HODL, bro. Find my white boy, bro.
No, but I'm asking, like, is a definition in a book somewhere? Is it like a legit word, or is it a word that he created?
He created this word because it's hold, and he put the L in front of the hold, and he meant to. He used hold instead of trying to write holding. You know how Twitter is set up. That's why I keep on saying HODL is from Twitter. This is a Twitter guy. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all this shit so y'all can put things in context. I don't know if it's only black people that do this, but y'all have to start putting things in context. Or I'm trying to tell y'all Twitter, and I'm saying HODL. Do you remember what Twitter used to do with words? They had a small amount of characters. To say I'm holding, I don't say I'm holding. I say I'm hodling. I don't even say hodling. I just say HODL. I say everybody HODL. Everybody HODL. Everybody we're holding. Everybody we're holding. Hold the line. Hold the line. Shit got twisted up with motherfucking bullshit ass meme stocks. This wasn't normal before. Like, the fact that y'all are so crazy now that y'all are thinking that things mean hold on for your dear life, show that y'all don't understand the market. That's why I spoke about history. This is, bro, I'm telling you, meme stocks is 2020 only. This is a new fucking phenomenon. Do not use words like when I said the brother HODL. HODL didn't become rich buying in 2019. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Go check these white boys out. I don't like shouting out white boys, but today I was forced to shout out a white boy with stupid words, right? But if y'all want to do yourself justice, bro, please get on the Twitter sphere because Twitter is where you get actual information. There's other stuff for pictures. There's other things for this and that and this and that. What I really want y'all to do is either get in the clubhouse rooms with actual developers and actual creators on this, people that's in the blockchain. If y'all not doing that, I really don't want to talk to y'all about it because it's tedious, right? It's a back and forth about tedious things, but I really want us to check out the brother HODL on Twitter, right? Check the brother HODL out. He's a Twitter user, and what you will find out on Twitter is you will see other analysts, right? And you could even, I'm pretty sure you could even do hashtag that HODL word, and you will see a lot of like the analysts tapping in on it. Like the one famous one I remember is when the brother hit up HODL and he was like, I knew I was too old for the space when whole went from HOLD to HODL for HODL. It's the same thing. The word HODL and hold is the same difference. It's just holding, bro. But hey, everybody got their own different shit, bro. Like I said, bro, I want us to get in these rooms. Matter of fact, let me see if I could find any conversations because I think people be thinking I just be talking out my ass cheeks. You know, because most people it's lack of research. Oh, that's another thing too. I need to play my brother. Have videos to play. So yeah, this is the market. All right, we took that shit off, but I got something better.
I was about to show the greed index while you find the video.
I already found the video, but yeah, you can put the greed index up.
No, I don't. Sorry.
Well, you wouldn't happen to know any of the reviewers who go over the code and core, which... Well,
Tidwell, are you a geek? Are you?
I want to be... Who asked that? Was that Vic? Yo, Vic, do you know anyone who at Blockstream who's doing geek builds?
Andrew Cho. He's a low-key wizard.
Wait a minute. Oh my God, I've been calling him Andrew Chow. Jesus.
I don't know if it's Cho or Chow either, to be honest. Like, I just call him Andrew, and then call the other Andrew Polstra because it's easier. But other people.
So what is it you're showing the people?
So,
this is a Freed and Greed Index. Yeah, I don't know. You had a better explanation than I was asking you to explain it in detail on here, but I was just trying to understand better the extreme fear and like how do they even get this number?
Greed is people overly buying something. Greed is people thinking things could go up and never fall down. When somebody get greedy, that means they eat more than it's there, right? So we everything is super conceptual if we just keep it in the just human form. Like I said, a lot of people have been changing ideas of things, but just keep it in the human form. When do you get greedy, right? When you have too much, right? When are you scared?
When you want too much, right?
I guess when you want too much, but even when you have too much, that's greed, though. If somebody has 2 houses, you that's looked at as greedy. It's like, bro, why do you need so much? Anytime you have so much, that's greedy. Okay. So with Bitcoin going from 28K to 48K, that seems super greedy to me, right? That's a $20,000 jump, and everybody is saying this and this, but the reason why there's no fear. And greed, and the greed is a bit high. I want probably about that yellow, but the fear happens when it's a shortage, right? So I was in a trade, and what happens is when the money start getting short, like when they start getting closer to the point that they might close you out, that's your most scared moment. When you get greedy, it's when you're up $30,000 or $20,000. You start doing more trades and more trades and more trades. You say, yo, I got $30,000 up. I got to take this L. When you have $10, you say, man, I can't get in no trades unless it's a winner, right? So that's why you seen last month, right, had extreme fear, right? Because last month went to 28. And we all been trying to figure out, is it going to drop this 28 level? Because a lot of people been saying nonsense, like it's going to 15K and 10K and things like that. So people was terrified. Just the fact that people thought it was going to 10K. And what I said, if anybody listened to the cast, I said, yo, Bitcoin is going to 50 something K. I would have to go back and figure out my exact number, but whatever number I said before is going to them low numbers. So I said, don't worry about the low numbers right now. That's what I said a couple casts back. But yeah, what people did was forget where they just came from. Right. And now they're getting overly greedy. There's nothing wrong with it. We just need to scale back. Right, scale back, because we didn't get too greedy. Right, it's too much greed because every day we going up. Look, last week 70%. I mean 70. You feel me? It's like we're going up every day, but we're not too greedy. We're not too greedy yet because we have a chance to backpedal, and that's what's happening right now.
And you're saying it's virtually impossible you're saying the fear is coming on shortage?
The fear always comes from shortage, the lack of. So
if it goes to 28, you're saying that shortage is going to increase.
Oh yeah, if it goes,
the fear is going to increase.
With what go to 20? If Bitcoin drops every time. What, like I said, this John is going to update in 20 hours. Next time you look at this, the fear is going to take over the fucking greed. So
like with the fear, is it induced by news also, or is it just a number? It's just a number. It's
psychological because it is what it is, bro. The news doesn't change anything because right now we're in technically a bull market. About 60 days, 90 days in this bull market. We probably got about 60 days left, 37 days, right around those times left in this bull market. There's no bullish news. I mean, in this bull market, there's no bearish news that's going to change anything that's going on in this bullish market. This is a regular pullback, and that's what people got to understand. And that's
when you say bearish news, what does that mean?
Like, nobody's saying this happened or that happened could change what's going on in the bull market. Like, when Tesla did what he did, it was at the end of the bull market. Bitcoin had been sitting at 64 and been dropping down. You feel me? The bull market was ending. If you say anything in the middle of the bull market that's bearish, it's shrugged off. The only time that bearish news is important is in a bear market, like a month ago. Every news that came out, we had our ears glued to it. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen? Because we all trying to figure out what's going to happen, right? But in the bull market, don't matter how much bearish reports they send out, it's like, they don't know what they're talking about. Oh, a slight pullback. Because you feel me? So it's just, you got to understand the market you're in, because the market sentiment is what keeps away fear. Because this video that I'm going to play is a super important video, because this brother is talking about how he was a fundamental trader. And he had some great fundamental plans. He was like, yo, I just did such and such in lumber. Matter of fact, I want to play it. But he said he did such and such in lumber. A certain sec of lumber, maybe wood or whatever the situation was. And then he went into another part of the sec. Man, I got to play it. Yeah, I got to hear. But yeah, with this whole fear and greed situation, just go back last month and look where the price of Bitcoin was, and you understand, okay, fear means that people think that it's going to go. Because that's when hold on for your dear life would change over to become something, right? Because it never stood for that. It was just saying, yo, hold, bro, we going up. But if you are scared, so if you're in a bear market and somebody come out and say, yo, I'm looking at the levels, it can go to 10K. That ain't good for your fear. That ain't gonna help you no bit.
Here's a chart.
All right, so about a month ago. No, this is gonna be the first one.
1 month?
No, I'm saying to find where we was at for the month. That was saying, but you're going to the end of the month.
Wait, what date are you looking for?
I want to start at the beginning of the month. Why was everybody so scared?
So like August 1st?
Babe, the first of the month is that literally 1st John. That's right there.
This one?
No, the 1st John on your chart. I just want to figure out what would that say.
This one?
Babe, that's, we read left to right. So that's the last one. Yeah, that's the first one. What?
I was talking about this whole time. But that's why I was confused. I was like, this? And you were like, no. But, okay. So, first of the month is right here. 20th of July. It's at 19%. But I'm not sure if this is greed or fear.
No, that's fear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we know how the numbers is. Yeah, from the high. 0 is scary. 100 is too greedy. So we know the numbers.
Okay, well, yeah, July 20th, it was at 19%.
And now, if y'all go look at the price, y'all will see why. So every time it falls, people get scared.
Wait, the price of what?
Bitcoin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why people are scared. This is the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, right?
I don't think so. They said they get their stuff off multiple things. Volatility.
No, I'm saying, is this only for Bitcoin? Because
no, there's none about Bitcoin on here.
So that's crypto fear and greed.
Yeah.
So that's the whole market here. That one is sort of kind of pointless for us. I want to see Bitcoin's fear and greed index. Yeah, a lot of this stuff I find on Twitter because I follow the actual person. I'll go pull it up. Yeah, man. Twitter is a great place for information, bro. Like I said, I'm not a big fucking Twitter fan, bro. I like watching YouTube videos. But if you want to find actual information from people that's in this space, bro, it's no better place than Twitter, bro. And I'm going to show you why. Because right now,
the history or in the playlist?
What you saying?
The video, the clip.
Oh, you can just go to history. Yeah, but I really want to show y'all this to show y'all how easy this shit is, bro, in this Twitter space, bro. Not spaces. Market wizard or wizard, whatever market shit. So yeah, that's weird because that seemed like it might be a Bitcoin one. But Bitcoin has all the dominance, so I guess it's
trades. I was a total bust at the execution part. I was very shy and I was too timid to yell getting it because you care much more. So it was unusual of the opening. Liquidated my entire position on the opening. Was the market sharply lower again on the opening? No, not sharply, just about 2 cents. How much did you?
I'm Empras is sharing her screen, but I'm gonna share this real quick. I hate stopping sharing stuff, but I just really want to show y'all what y'all could get. Actually, this is our last week doing this type of Taco Tuesday. From this day on, I'm just doing live trading and talking, but it's gonna still be information. But I'm not offering no more pearls to swizzles. But right here, this is the Ethereum Fear and Greed Index. Right, so you're able to see all the different ones. Right, and it kind of gives you a better idea of what the analysis is saying. So Ethereum, because Ethereum has never really been too greedy. So if you probably go back a couple of days, it probably wasn't even that bad. Maybe the fear was a little bit, but yeah, then Ethereum at the 67 is about super normal. And then we go back to the Bitcoin, and that's what I was saying. But with the chart that Empress brought up earlier, right, it'll still make sense because the crypto market is the Bitcoin market in a sense because it has the dominance. So it'll still come back around to that 73 number. But my thing is I'm trying to figure out, is that Bitcoin or is that just the whole market? Are they keeping track of the other coins? Why do Bitcoin get? But if it has the dominance, then there's really no reason to, I guess, check anything else in a sense. But yeah, this is the same website you were just on right here, and this is their page. I'm not sure if this is their page per se, personally, but like I said, this is an amazing resource for anybody who want to get up on what's going on. But yeah, back to the market wizards.
Lose on the trade by the time you liquidated. I lost my own 30,000 plus 12,000 of the 20,000 my mother had lent me. That was my lesson in betting my whole wad. What did you do then? Well, I was really upset. I decided I had to go to work. Since there was a recession at the time, I thought I probably couldn't get a really good job and should try to settle for a lesser position. I found that even though I interviewed for positions for which I was unusually well qualified, I couldn't seem to get any job. I finally realized that I couldn't get these jobs because I didn't really want them. One of the best.
Hey, that's a super important point, brother. This drop. Because I hear this narrative. I'm telling you, a lot of these black people narratives, I'm getting away from it. I don't want to hear them. Bribe me, bro. I don't know if black people made these up, so I'm stop fucking this up. They ain't African though. But nevertheless, this brother's saying that, yo, shoot for what you want, not for the stars. You shoot for the stars, you ain't gonna never hit nothing but fucking space. Right? Shoot for what you want, because when you want something, there's two things working in your favor for sure. Desire, and when desire works in your favor, energy works in your favor. And when energy works in your favor, the third one come in, which is creation. Don't chase things that you don't want, which is why they say, don't go chasing waterfalls. I don't even know that song, but I know that people need to stop doing that. So I told you, that's why every week I'm getting more stringent with my information. I'm like, yo, I'm not offering this much to people. I'm coming with the pearls. I'm not scaling anything back. Like I said, I still offer the paid program, but I'm not doing this setup anymore. It's too much on me in a sense. So like I said, when I come in here, I'm probably just going to be opening trades, kind of showing entries and things like that. You do your own thing, because I got my own studying to do, right? And since I didn't put up the ball yet, figuratively speaking, in the trading space, I'm not coaching none of y'all because y'all don't listen. But shout out to everybody that, continuously come through. Shout y'all out. Oh, snap. I didn't even know I was paused. I'm back.
Better position because they could tell I really wanted it. I learned that if you shoot for what you want, you stand a much better chance of getting it because you care much more. Anyway, there was a glass partition between my office and the main office where the brokers sat. I still had the trading bug.
Hey, listen to the
trading.
listen to the dedication of this brother. And this is the book Market Wizard. This what he's doing in this book is basically interviewing market wizards, and everybody got their own little perspective or take on whatever is going on, right? So this first brother he's interviewing is, I don't know why I forgot his name, but this is Marcus, this big brother Marcus, right? And Marcus, the interview with Marcus starts at the 2-minute mark in this book. I'm gonna go back a little bit, but like I said, I'm not really here to do all that. If y'all want to do your own research, if y'all want to follow up, y'all could email me and things, but I'm not. No more pearls to swines. I'm sorry, Lord. Ready.
Doing the research? Right, because the analysts were strictly forbidden to trade, but I decided I wouldn't let that stop me. I borrowed from my mother again, my brother, and my girlfriend, and opened an account at another firm. I worked out an intricate code system with my broker to keep people in my office from knowing that I was violating the rules. For example, if I said the sun was out, that meant one thing, while if I said the weather is cloudy, it meant something else. While I was trying to write my market reports, I kept peering out through the glass partition to see the prices on the big trading board in the main office. When I was winning, I tried to hide my elation, and when I was losing, I had to make sure not to let it show on my face. I don't think anyone ever caught on, but I was in a manic depressive state throughout that time. I felt tortured because I wanted to be free to trade without going through this elaborate charade. Were you making or losing money during this time? I lost. It was the same old cycle of borrowing money and consistently losing it. Did you know what you were doing wrong then? Good question. Basically, I had no real grasp of trading principles. I was doing everything wrong. Then, in October 1971, while at my broker's office.
Okay, so the brother's saying he had no real trading principles. Okay, what do you mean by that? When people come on here, right, especially when y'all watch the Black Wall Street Bets, we give people almost surefire ways to make money. We say if you don't have 3 indicators that line up at any given time, there's not a buy. If you decide to be risky, then you put a stop loss and you get out. But if there's not 3 indicators lining up, don't try to be smarter than the market, right? Because when you try to do that, that's when you make yourself look crazy. So he said he didn't know any of the principles. So that means that he didn't know about having a stop loss. He didn't know about taking profits. There's different styles of traders. So I'm not gonna say the actual knacks, but I'm just saying that the basics, like principles of trading. You know, kind of have a stop loss, have a target price. You feel me? These certain things that you can do in the trading space. He had none of that going for him. So even when he made money and he told you that he was elated, it's because he didn't know what was going to happen, right? So he didn't plan it, right? And this goes back to what we played the other week with Bob Proctor saying 90% of the people that's in the position that they're at don't know why they're there. So this brother, he's right. He's a good writer. He does things well, but he's not a good trader. And as the video go on, you're gonna learn why, because he's sort of explaining it. Besides, because right now he just told you the basic. Right now, I ain't had no principles. I didn't know no stop loss. I didn't know about taking profits. I didn't know about riding my winners. And like I said, riding my winners is personal to me because if y'all ever witnessed the way I trade in trends, right? That's why I tell you three indicators, because I trade in trends. Like my indicator don't show no when is the market ending. I guess it kind of do because it shows momentum. It's still momentum, but I'm not so much big on entry positions because I don't even want to say it because I'm big on all of that. So I don't want to separate it right now because y'all don't understand where I'm going with it. So I'm gonna play him for a little bit longer, but I just listen to what I was saying about the brother not understanding none of the principles.
My success. Who was that? Ed Sakota. He's a genius and a great trader who has been phenomenally successful. When I first met Ed, he had recently graduated from MIT and had developed one of the first computer programs for testing and trading technical systems. I still don't know how Ed amassed so much knowledge about trading at such an early age. Ed told me, I think
that's what I'm always stressed, right? I'm always stressing algorithm. We have an algorithm. That's the same thing he's talking about with Ed. What Ed developed, though, because he went to MIT, I guess he's more math savvy. That, this is back in the days. So he invented a wheel. You don't have to reinvent a wheel right now. But anyways, because he's an MIT brother, he was able to put a math problem together to kind of figure out where things was going. Technical analysis, same thing that we do here, right? But now you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So now people pay for indicators. You feel me? Maybe there's an Ed. I don't know why I'm forgetting my boy name right now. Ed S. Maybe it's an Ed S. goddamn indicator, right? Because I've been telling y'all that the Black Wall Street Bets indicator coming, and I'm telling you the way we win with the indicator, bro, is unlike no other indicator, right? Because y'all just gotta really understand, bro. There's principles, right? There's principles, and that leads to almost fundamentals. A lot of that could kind of be just fundamentals. Principles, fundamentals. Technicals, this ain't got nothing to do with the fundamentals. You already overstand the fundamentals. You standing on top of them and you trying to figure out, okay, what else could I do? Because if everybody start understanding the fundamentals, where is my separation in the numbers? Oh man, let me do the moving average. What that is, if I'm gonna do a 200-day moving average. All right, cool. Oh man, I'm gonna use the cloud. I like this cloud situation. A Japanese, I'm pretty sure a Japanese brother developed that cloud situation. So there's different methods, G. And like I said, I'm gonna show y'all live trades to kind of show y'all what I mean by all three indicators. Because remember what I told y'all, all the indicators have to line up on the long term. So if you want to get into a play, and on the 4 hours, all three indicators line up, you don't have to go check nothing else. If you want to enter a play and you want to get an early entry, you have to go on a shorter time frame. And when you go on the shorter time frame, even if all three of those indicators line up, you have to go on one shorter and two longer. I'm just telling you, this is the way our algorithm works. So once this actual shit is developed, man, I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Empress, I'm ready. I'm ready because he about to drop the science right now.
Out of money and out of people who would lend me money, but I still had a kind of stubborn confidence that I could somehow get back on the right track again. I was only making 12 enough to open an account. I opened people who would lend to. That's a lead because giving successfully what you were him not be a penny a day. Everyone else seemed to be bullish, talking about one day model as well. We're learning to hire me. Why? Well, I couldn't imagine why, since I wrote well and had experience. When I pressed him for a reason, he told me, I can't hire you because you already know too much.
So Ed is at the brokerage that he ended up getting a chance to work at. But initially when he went to the brokerage, you heard him, I wrote well, because he's been doing this analysis thing for a little minute as far as working for different brokerages and whatever. OG said, nah, I don't want you. And this same thing in sports. And he said, you know too much. What, like, this is how I'm speaking tonight. What I've heard a lot from melanated people is say, bro, they just hating on me. They think this and they think that and they think this. No, they don't. It's their business and they're trying to build a squad a certain way. Right? Start, if you don't like it, go sign yourself. Right? If you feel like your trading route is the best route and you want to, bro, just go do your own thing. You can make your own money. You ain't got to worry about us. Right? But we're trying to develop a team of traders that trade the way we think is the right way, not the way you think is the right way. So you feel me? So you got to kind of see what's actually happening to this white man. This white man went into the brokerage and when the white man told him, you an older brother, bro. You already came in here. You got your own little wave. But look how he ended up winning his way, because he didn't say, yo, they're against me because I'm a nigga. He didn't say none of that. What he said is, oh, let me press him real quick and ask him why. Let me actually figure out why. Maybe he gonna say, yo, you ugly, and I don't like ugly people. And I'm like, all right, bro, I don't like ugly people. Cool. But I need to figure out why. Because I write better than anybody at the situation. What's going on? Why can't I get the job? And then once he pressed them, he got the answers.
And I want to train somebody. I said, look, I will do anything you want. Eventually, I convinced him to hire me. It was really great because I had Ed to learn from, and he was already a very successful trader. He was basically a trend follower who utilized classic trading principles. He taught me how to cut my losses, as well as the importance of riding winners. Ed provided an excellent role model. For example, one time he was short silver, and the market just kept eking down a half penny a day, a penny a day. Everyone else seemed to be bullish, talking about why silver had to go up because it was so cheap. But Ed just stayed short. Ed said, the trend is down.
So what Ed is showing you is sticking to the system. If you entered following the trend because it said that it was up, follow that uptrend. If you lose money, it usually does a slight little retest. So you don't have to take that quick L. It's gonna trail back up a little bit. The problem is if you don't have enough money with the account. The brother always stressed he had to borrow $20K from his mom. So you feel me? A lot of this stuff. His father passed. His mom told him not to go take the money out. He went and cashed out the little whatever the father left for him. So you always have to keep capital. You have to keep capital. But what Ed is doing is, yo, I've won using this and I'm gonna lose using this strategy. So Ed has something super important where he say ride your winners, cut your losses, a couple other, but the main one that I'm talking about right now is sticking to the system, right? If you stick to the system, you're going to take L's, but the percentage is never going to be something that you have to worry about. You'll be winning at an 80+% cap every time. And you lose 20% of what is that going to do to your account? Nothing, right? So you have to stick to the system. So right now he's explaining how Ed was in some shit he called a short on it. And that shit ain't listening to Ed. Ed like, bro, the trend is right here, bro. It's a down trend, bro. I understand you looking at me, you probably think I'm tripping right now, but watch it. And eventually it turned, right? But don't take that too far because there's another story where Ed said some shit and because Ed trades in trends. So Ed don't do stop losses, right? The same, and that's why I fought with Ed so much because as soon as I heard his way, I'm like, man, that brother trade just like me. I've never heard of Ed and never really studied him, but after I was listening to this book, I kind of got up on him a little bit more, and I'm like, this brother trade just like me, right? And it's like, so the first time everybody got out, they cut their losses. Some people even cut their wins. Some people had little wins, and they was like, let me get out. It ain't too much more for me. Ed sat there and was like, yo, but it's still in the downtrend though, right? Why are we getting out? Right. And that's why I always tell people, wait on 3 indicators. If all the indicators say the same thing, that means that you are listening to the trend. And now we're in an uptrend. If you catch that uptrend at the bottom, then you understand. But what you got to do with catching trends is if you didn't catch the trend when it started, you have to go back and see when that trend started. So you can't be like, yo, but it's an uptrend, but but the uptrend started almost 10 candles ago, bro. How long do you think it's going to last in the uptrend? You feel me? So we have to get smarter with these things. So, but the main thing that I want us to take away from this, bro, stick to the system. And the importance of that is you figure out if it work or it don't work. You figure out if it truly works or if it don't work by sticking to the system. The minute you say, man, bro, it look like it's falling though. Yeah, but you know that it's still in the uptrend, and that's what we talked about, right? But bro, you don't have enough available capital to live what you believe in. So don't believe it. Just wait. Hey, look, and if you'd have waited for the 3 indicator confirmation, you wouldn't even have to worry about it. I guarantee that if you wait for a 3 indicator confirmation, you ain't got to take too much L's to where you got to be like, man, how long can this last? But there is going to be some times. The market is the market, bro. So these indicators we're using is just adding up things that already happened, bro. So all it's doing is adding up things that already happened. That's why I got my eye on the shirt tonight, right? Because you got to have balance. You got to have balance of the fundamentals and the technicals. The fundamentals, only point of the fundamentals is to set up it, is to basically confirm what the technical is saying. You don't go in, nigga, with fundamentals and go try to prove it on the technical, because technical will show you whatever you're talking about. You go on the technicals and you say, man, this should look like something coming. And then you start reading the news, start reading what's been published. Oh, miners are doing this. Damn, miners doing this. Okay, cool. This is doing that. That's doing that. The news sound like it's going to be bullish too. So now you got two of them, the indicators and you got the fundamentals. And then the third one, I'm going to save that one for y'all.
And I'm going to stay short until the trend changes. I learned patience from him and the way he followed the trend. Did Ed's example turn you around as a trader? Not initially. I continued to lose even with Ed there. Do you remember what you were still doing wrong at that time? I think I wasn't patient enough to wait for a clearly defined situation. Did you think of just tail?
And that's what I kept on stressing, right? A clearly defined situation. Bro, you work your ass off for entry. In that way, you can sit in things. Work your ass off for entry, bro. That way you can sit in things. Couple months back, 3-4 months back, when Luna fell, I was like, yo, I bought Luna at I think $16 the first time. I was like, bro, it went to $4, bro. I bought some up. Y'all gotta buy some. That's the first thing I was like, y'all gotta buy some. Make sure y'all buy some Luna. It fell, and I bought. And the main reason why I was saying, I was like, bro, I bought it high. And I'm not trying to say nobody stupid, but I'm like, I bought it high. I did the I'm not no fundamental trader, bro. I technically analyzed everything, and it was a good buy. I'm like, bro, the protocol makes sense because slight fundamental, right? Cause you know, I'm a nigga, right? So I looked at the fundamentals. And it was fun, right? So what they set up was like, yo, we doing this, we doing that, we doing that. I'm like, dang, they doing all of that? It gotta go up. So I used the fundamentals a little bit, but it all came from the technicals. I seen the technicals and I was like, man, this John look beautiful. Same thing I told you about graph. I was like, bro, I've been trading graph for a week or two now. Not now. I've been trading it for damn near a year now. Nigga, I love it so much. But anyways, I've been trading it for a week or two when I told y'all about it. And I was like, bro, if you can get it below 75 cents, buy up a bunch. If you can get it at 50 cents, buy up the whole bulk. Why I was saying that was because when I looked at the chart 3 months ago, a couple months, it was at $2. It was at $2 plus, nigga. I'm like, bro, this is the same thing y'all be wanting like something like Doge and these people to do. This motherfucker is doing it in real time. I said the same thing about Vet. Vet was at 8 cents, 6 cents one time. I said, why play around with all these other bros? I was like, jump in Vet. Vet ran up to 18 cents. But I told you, bro, Vet is a 2-year play. So that's another thing that you got to also think about. If you got to figure out what type of trader you are, bro. You got to figure out who you need to be around to support your type of trading, bro. Because that's the most important thing. Because the brother asked him, like, oh, snap. So you around Ed now. So did you start winning? He said, nah. He said, why not? I wasn't patient enough, bro. Right? So Ed told me what to do. But I seen 2 indicators and I thought I was smarter than Ed. I was like, man, Ed, nah, you don't need to wait for the third one. And I just jumped in on the second one. And the second one reversed. And I was now in a down. Right? So once I listened to Ed, and you got to take them L's, I'm guessing. But at the beginning, he said you don't want to do that. You want to get your mentor. But
You gotta take those lessons.
if you want to be your own person, if you want to be an island, you got to take them lessons. Anybody that's trying to build a team, that's not truthful, right? Because we could look at the greatest hedge funds in the world. Them boys winning because they built. It's a culture. They always talk about the culture that's there.
So there's like a rule of 3 indicators, or you fucking die.
Yeah, or that to say, you feel me? Some businesses ran like that, where it's like, man, these bros never going out of business. That's value investment. Well, you know, companies are so good and they have such a culture that the culture is whatever. We don't need the fucking owner. We don't need none of these people. The culture says the culture dictate what goes on. So Colt. You feel me? That's the Colt, bro. So you already know what it's about. I'm ready.
Quoting Ed because he was so successful? No, I couldn't bring myself to do that. Did you ever think of just giving up on trading? I would sometimes think that maybe I ought to stop trading because it was very painful to keep losing. In Fiddler on the Roof, there's a scene where the lead looks up and talks to God. I would look up and say, am I really that stupid? And I seem to hear a clear answer saying, no, you're not stupid. You just have to keep at it. So I did. At the time, I was befriended by a very kind, knowledgeable, and successful semi-retired broker at Shearson named Amos Hostetter. He liked my writing, and we used to talk. Amos reinforced a lot of the things Ed taught me. I was getting the same principles from two people. Were you making recommendations for the firm at the time? Yes. And how did the recommendations work out? They were better because I was more patient. Anyway, I was totally out of money and out of people who would lend me.
Okay, that's another thing he was saying. Because everywhere he's doing good, like, I don't want to say everywhere he's doing good, but he's still working for the brokerages, and he's still sending in plays. And the plays that he's sending in, niggas is winning on the plays. And the bro asking them why, he's saying they were just more patient with the plays, bro. Everything is a time for it, but you're so impatient. So we say, yo, the stock market is designed to transfer the money from the impatient to the patient, bro. Like, when are we gonna believe the truth? This book ain't new. This book 800 years old, probably, bro. I'm telling you, bro, we're following these same methods. Somewhere in this book, I doubt we're gonna find it, bro. Like I said, this is how I'm gonna run these jobs from now on. But somewhere in this book, the brother say, bro, you know what I hate more than anything that I hate? It's somebody that said there's a conspiracy in the market. You don't play that shit. Bro, you can run the video.
But I still had a kind of stubborn confidence that I could somehow get back on the right track again. I was only making $12,500 a year, but I managed to save $700. Since that wasn't even enough to open an account, I opened a joint account with a friend who also put up $700. Were you totally directing the trading in this joint account? Yes, my friend didn't know anything about the markets. This was in July 1972, and at the time we were under price controls. The futures market was supposedly also under price controls. This was Nixon's price freeze. Yes. As I recall, the plywood price was theoretically frozen at $110 per 1,000 square feet. Plywood was one of the markets I analyzed for the firm. The price had edged up close to $110, and I put out a bearish newsletter saying even though supplies were tight, since prices couldn't go beyond 100.
This is where fundamental comes back to bite you in your booty cheeks. He's using all fundamentals right now, right? Everything. He said, yo, there's a shortage, there's this, there's that. Just watch how he continues to add things on. He's about to add something else on. And look, fundamental is going to help out in this. Watch it.
$110, there was nothing to lose by going short at $110. How did the government keep prices at the set limits? What prevented supply and demand from dictating a higher price? It was against the law for prices to go higher. You mean producers couldn't charge more for it? Right. What was happening, though, was that the price was being kept artificially low, and there is an economic principle that an artificially low price will create a shortage. So shortages developed in plywood, but supposedly the futures market was also under this guideline. However, no one was sure. It was sort of a gray area. One day, while I was looking at the quote board, the price hit $110. Then it hit 110 and 10 cents. Then 110.20. In other words, the futures price was trading 20 cents over the legal ceiling. So I started calling around to see what was going to happen, but nobody seemed to know. Was plywood the only market exceeding its price freeze level? Yes. Anyway, nothing happened. I think the market closed somewhere over $110 that day. The next day it opened at 110 and 80 cents. I used the following reasoning. If they let it trade over $110 today, they might let it trade anywhere. So I bought one contract. Well, ultimately, plywood went to $200. After I bought that first contract and prices rose, it was just a matter of pyramiding and riding the position. Was that your first really big trade after you had been wiped out in the corn market? Yes. Did the cash plywood market stay at $110? The futures market functioned as a supply of last resort to users who couldn't get supplies elsewhere. Basically, it created a two-tiered market, a sort of legal black market. Yes, those who were frozen out because they didn't have any long-standing relationships with producers could get their plywood at a higher price in the futures market. The producers were fuming at the thought that they had to sell at the legal price ceiling. Why didn't producers just sell futures and deliver against the contract, as opposed to selling in the cash market at the price control level? The smarter ones were learning that, but it was the infancy of futures trading in plywood, and most producers weren't that sophisticated. Some producers probably weren't sure that it was legal to do that. Even if they thought it was, their lawyers might have told them, maybe people can buy plywood at any price in the futures market, but we better not sell and deliver above the legal ceiling. There were a lot of questions. Did the government ever try to interfere with the futures markets? Well, not exactly, but I'll get back to that. In just a few months, $700 had grown into $12,000 trading plywood. Was this the only trade you had on? Yes. Then I got the bright idea that the same shortage situation was going to occur in lumber. I bet everything on one trade, just as I had on the corn-wheat trade, expecting that lumber would also go through the ceiling price. What was lumber doing at this time? It did nothing. I just watched plywood go from $110 to $200. Since they were both wood products and lumber was also in short supply, I reasoned that lumber would go way up, and it should have. However, after I bought lumber at around $130, the government finally woke up to what had happened in plywood, and they were determined not to let the same thing happen in lumber. The day after I went long, some government official came out with an announcement that they were going to crack down on speculators in lumber who were trying to run up the market like they had plywood. The lumber market crashed just on that statement. I was down to the point where I was close to being wiped out again. There was a 2-week period during which they kept issuing these statements. The market stabilized at a level just above where I would have been wiped out. I had just enough money left to hang on to my position. The market was at $130 when you bought it. Where was it at this time? About $117. So even though the magnitude of this decline was much smaller than the price rise in plywood, you lost almost as much money.
So you heard that.
So even if price-wise, I didn't hear it.
But did you see what happened to him? All right, so the first time, right, he seen what they did. You see how they made that money. He was like, yo, this shit rolls, bro. They was wrong, right? So he's like, bro, if they did that over here, which they're in the same lumber situation, they did this over here, then it's going to happen over here in plywood. So he jumped in plywood also and bought big, nigga, expecting it to go up. And the government stepped in and was like, nah, y'all not doing that again. So he was just showing that's just trying to use the fundamentals. But I really want to read this to you because this is not even the brother I'm talking about, but this is the term HODL or whole originated in 2013. This is dated, with a post to the Bitcoin talk forum. The price of Bitcoin had surged to a high of over 1,100 at the beginning of December 2013 from under $15. These niggas bought at $15. These boys are crazy. Nevertheless, this is what happened. At 10:03 a.m. UTC on December 18th, a dude named Gay Combi. Hey, not Gay Combi, man. Bacon, you read that, bro.
Game QB posted, I'm holding a drunk, semi-coherent, typo-laden rant about his poor trading skills and determination to simply hold his Bitcoin from that point on.
So you seen it? Mm-hmm. OG fucked up. OG fucked up and became a hodler. I'm pretty sure this is the same, bro. I need to go on there and figure out if this is him, but I'm pretty sure this is my boy Hodl right here. And like I said, it's just but you have to. I don't know if y'all ever experienced white people, bro. Find yourself in one of these clubhouse, like to really experience white people. You need to experience white people, right? White people love freedom, bro. That's one thing. One thing I think white people love, freedom, bro. Please, bro, find yourself one of these days around a group of whites that believe in decentralization. Just try it. Just try it. Or even with blacks. I'm telling you, even with some blacks, bro. Even with blacks, bro. It's a Haitian bro right now. Big in Bitcoin. Jimmy Toussaint. I shouldn't probably be saying bro last name. But big in Bitcoin. I shouldn't even be saying that. He's sucking Bitcoin. Don't even worry about him. But please go check these white boys out, bro. These white boys be going crazy, bro, in these rooms, bro. They get racist. These white boys, they ain't crazy. I don't even know if y'all know, bro. Y'all don't witness them. Y'all not around enough melanemic brothers. These brothers, bro, they are so racist. They are so disgusting. They be just saying off the wall stuff all day. So yeah, this brother said he was on some whiskey, and he rolled holding. Nigga, I'm holding, and that's what I'm trying to explain to everybody. Like, you gotta think about it. This shit is a Bitcoin meme. Like, I don't understand who else taking it and making it funny, right? But when we started out with it, bro, a nigga was just sitting there saying, I'm holding, bro. Mm-hmm. These new hold on for dear life niggas that they think they're gonna get wiped out. You don't get wiped out in Bitcoin, bro. Mm-hmm. Bitcoin go back to your $15, nigga. You sit there for a little bit and then you go back up, bro. You don't ever have to worry about Bitcoin being gone. There's a bunch of fucking altcoins that's gone, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you're in the room with these quote unquote Bitcoin maximalists, you will see why they call them Bitcoin maximalists. Because their whole idea is, nah, I'm not in those coins. And like, you try to figure out why, and then he'll let you know a bunch of stuff. Like, bro, I'm a developer, bro. That developer sent me tokens, bro. Like, yeah, he got to explain everything to him, because niggas be like, bro, what you had? It's like, bro, I had 1,000 of those. Each. Yes, bro, I had 1,000 of them, dude. Yes, bro, I've been in the space. Like, I've been like, I know it's amazing to you guys because you came late, but bro, the space was spaceless before, bro. Empress brought up a story about a brother just giving out $100 in Bitcoin. It was $15 at one point. When did he do this?
2013, 2014.
The man possibly got the $15 Bitcoins, nigga. Hey, and then when it went to the $1,000, it dropped back down to like 438 before it went to 700 and something. Then it pushed to 9,000, and niggas jumped out. Bro, traders are gonna die.
Yeah, that's the quickest way to kind of just relax yourself, is just to pull all the way to the max and just see how this is just a blimp in time. Bro,
we have to get back to the science of history. Mm-hmm. History is a science now, bro, because we're not studying it no more. And I was saying, like, bro, you know how fly science was before they got so dictatorish? Like, it was really about, yo, you go do some shit, you prove it, you can't prove it. He go do some shit, he can't prove it. Who got more facts? And then they say, all right, that's the best theory available at the time. Now it's not even like that. Now it's like, yo, you on committee? All right, yeah. He won. But he didn't prove it, though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you didn't prove it either, really. But I got more information. Look, I got all the paperwork. It's like, yeah, you're not part of the board.
You're unhinged.
So we have to kind of understand what these people are doing,
They are trying to hire the guy that stole all that money off of Poly Network.
Why not? Right? Mm-hmm. The movie Catch Me If You Can, they say it's based on a true story. And in the movie Catch Me If You Can, that's what the brother did. He had into the government sites. Mm-hmm. And they always show you this in Scorpion, all these little different shit. There's always somebody that super hacks some shit when they're young and the FBI come get them. I seen a bug. Somebody come get them, nigga, and then they become this FBI agent, and then eventually they turn against us. These stories, bro, these are real stories, though. And that's why this Market Wizard book was so important, because it's not more so of somebody just saying something. He's interviewing somebody and like just putting the notes in the book. So you're able to take different people's stories. This one right here is super interesting. It's about to get a little more interesting. Where we at right now? At 20? Because you in charge of playing, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Detail. 25. At 25, right? I got something at 58. Oh, you didn't get your mouse done.
No, I did not. 50?
Nah, just play from right there real quick.
Because you had a much larger position in lumber than you had in plywood. Right. Mm-hmm. During those 2 weeks, I was constantly on the verge of being wiped out. It was the worst 2 weeks.
Constantly on the verge of being wiped out.
They just about ready to give up. Giving up just to stop the pain, or so that you would at least have something left. Both. I was so upset that I couldn't stop my hands from shaking. How close did you come to being wiped out again? Well, my $12,000 had shrunk to under $4,000. Did you say to yourself, I can't believe I've done this again? Yes, and I never did it again. That was the last time I bet everything on one trade. What eventually happened? I managed to hold on, and the market finally turned around. There was a shortage, and the government didn't seem to have the will to stop the futures market. Was it insight or courage that gave you the willpower to hold on? Desperation mainly, although there was a support point on the charts that the market couldn't seem to take out. So I held on. At the end of that year, the $700, which I'd run up to over $12,000 and back to under $4,000, was now worth $24,000. After that scary experience, I never really overtraded again. The next year, 1973, the government began lifting the price controls because the price controls had created numerous artificial shortages. When they were lifted, there was a tremendous run-up in many commodities. Just about everything went up. Prices doubled in many markets, and I was able to take advantage of the tremendous leverage offered by low futures margins. The lessons I had learned from Sakota about staying in markets with major trends really paid off. In 1973, my account grew from $24,000 to $64,000. At that time, we were seeing something completely new. I remember those markets, even after prices had gone up only 10% of their eventual advance. Historically, it seemed like a very large price move. What made you realize that prices could go so much further?
The
At
berry
the
and
time, I was
ginger,
politically right-wing,
hard
with
kombucha.
being an inflation alarmist. The theory that the evil
Man,
government
I'm here.
constantly
Juice!
debasing the currency provided the perfect perspective for trading the inflationary markets of the mid-1970s. It was the right theory for the right time. Right. The markets were so fertile for trading then that I could make plenty of mistakes and still do well. Trading strictly on the long side? Yes.
So that's in the bull market, right? In the bull market, everybody considers themselves as a good trader. Telling you, bro, the bear. Once this bear market come back to take all that money from people. Everybody's a good trader in the bull because you don't have to technically analyze anything.
Nope.
And
Just get lucky.
can you go to 50? Can you go to 58? Like I said, this book is amazing. I got a lot of stuff. I actually had a bunch more. Actually, 42. Go to 42 because I remember having something at 42. I thought. Yeah, man. I had fucking put the time stamps, but
42.
I exited out too quick, nigga.
What's that? 40?
Couldn't be explained by any known
Hold on. I was say play it. No, I was say play it. Let me hear it.
U.S. trading session, we would have been annihilated. That situation illustrates one of the principles we believed in, namely that the big players, including the governments, would always tip their hand. If we saw a surprise player, that if like explained got there. We used to talk out. That's right. For example,
and like I said, I don't think we're gonna be able to get to the conspiracy part. I'm gonna change this shit up so y'all can get some different information coming because a lot of people ain't studying.
Were saying, are you talking about the part where he was saying that no one person can affect the market?
Because he's explaining like people always think that somebody's out to get them. It's like, bro, the market is the market.
That's true. No one person can control the market just because once that one person does decide to sell off or whatever the case is,
it's back into the control.
It's other people that also are doing stuff too. It isn't just them consistently doing stuff by themselves.
Hey.
So they can trigger a panic, but they're not the only ones dumping.
Hey, they could even hold a price high for a certain amount of time. They can't keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, they gotta stop.
Yeah, because you'll get weird things like Ethereum's trading at a higher rate than Bitcoin because it's somebody literally holding it. It goes up, they take off. It goes up, they take off the top. So yeah, they can do it for but so long. It's not forever. So again, the whole fraud, scam, all those stigmas that they attach to Bitcoin. Like that's what it is. You're just confused about
impatient money.
System.
It's impatient money. Like imagine, like I said, they just did it early, and that's why I keep on telling people. All of the indicators must line up. Like that shit sound like something to just say right now, but I'm telling you, bro, it'll guarantee wins. And that shit sounds weird to say guarantee wins. It'll guarantee wins. it's not as much trading. If you want to just scratch an itch, bro, go open up another account with a smaller amount of money and just scratch an itch. I'll bet right here. You feel me? Because maybe you just want to sharpen up things. But as far as putting big bets, you don't want to scratch itches like that, right? That ain't. It's just we have to understand, bro, how important the rules is. Like I understand people want to trade and make money here and there, but bro, the rules, bro, they'll work out so well that one game, like, and he kind of stressed that too. He was like, bro, it's better to run one big fish. It's better to run one big fish, right? And what you would do is when that one big fish start running, or if it falls, then you buy another fish going against him. Soon as somebody choose their side, you cut your losses. You cut your losses. You don't even think about it no more. You don't say, yo, what if it could have did this? No. You just cut your loss. Like,
what is it doing?
Man,
what if?
A lot of these new things that the brother was talking about, it's not really new, but even if you go back to the Kemetic brothers and the way we spoke, everything was always in the process of, right? Mm-hmm. So like a brother say, like somebody come up to you, be like, man, everything like is blackening. Like it's never like, man, the grapes look black today. I bet they sweet. It's like, oh, they blackening. Oh, this is greening. Like everything is doing something. Mm-hmm. That's crazy because our language is living, right? It's never dead. It's never past tense. It's like we don't speak. You feel me? English kind of ruined us, but to each his own, right? The Most High said, there's gonna be times that the enemy come in, but he never told you to give up and become a bitch. He told you to fight back, and he told you that if you trusted him, you're gonna reach to the top. And what trusting in him is the indicators. Whatever indicators you have. But he's going to say something else in this shit too about maybe it's not this book. I've been reading so much books, but he's saying like the mind is so strong. It might be another book. It might be another book. But check this out because it's all mine. The mind's so strong, bro. Mm-hmm. Anything you give it the plant, it's going to plant. Right? And people get so confused because they say, yo, this came from my mind. I wanted this. That they don't take a step back to see is that good or bad. The mind gives you whatever you ask for. A lot of us get caught up in emotions. So I'm gonna run that book with you too. That book. Like I'm telling you, the psychology of trading is the most important thing, right? Because we all are gonna lose. How do you respond to losses? Is the key. Do you say, yo, I'm out of it and I don't want to get back in it no more, and this ain't for me? Do you say, man, let me fight them back and try to knock them out? Or do you say, man, let me see and try to find an opportunity? Let me see if I can get in where I fit in. Let me see because that's what he did. Because and he wasn't even fighting back in a sense. He was just being fundamental crazy. He said, yo, it worked over here. They both in the same sec. It gotta work over here. But listen to this one right here that Empress about to play.
Remember one time during late 1978, the dollar was getting battered, falling to new lows every day. This was during a period when I was cooperating and trading as a colleague with Bruce Kovner. We used to talk hours every day. One day we noticed that the dollar got mysteriously strong. There was an intense price movement that couldn't be explained by any known information.
That's the fundamental.
Currency positions like crazy.
That's the fundamental.
President Carter announced a dollar support program. If we had waited until the next U.S. trading session, we would have been annihilated. That situation illustrates one of the principles we believed in, namely that the big players, including the governments, would always tip their hand. If we saw a surprise.
And the reason why this is so important, because I said this is fundamentals. I'm telling you, like the reason I purposely wore my hot shirt. So everything I do it for design purposes, right? You have to have a balance. The feather is the wind. The wind is consistent. And you may think it's inconsistent. Huh? Okay, boom. This heart is your heart. This is feelings. This is emotion. This is things you go through. They describe the brain. The book I was reading earlier was The Power of the Subconscious Mind. I'm pretty sure. They describe the subconscious as female, and that's what I'm gonna do from this day on. So anybody hear me talk, I'm like, bro, using your female brain. I don't care what nobody say to me, yo, bro. But it's man, I don't care. I'm just telling you, bro. This was the science before we got sexist and before everybody started trying to tell everybody what they meant by the words. This was the words that they was using, right? Male and female. That was the way that they was describing the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind. Mm-hmm. The conscious mind is objective. The subconscious mind is subjective. The woman, and this is exactly how I said it. The woman, you put them in spaces to be creative. That's why I was saying that when the brother is speaking, you have to make sure that you understand that he's a man, right? And he's speaking from a man perspective because he wants to get his own team with his own subconscious that he can lead to trade the way he wants to trade him. That's why he's not going to follow under this, bro, even though he has the highest respect for him. A man can respect another man, but that don't mean that I'm going to make you raise my wife. Or you feel me? So we have to understand what's going on right in this science that the brother is dropping. Don't just make this about trading, right? Because if you understand the bigger picture, then the trading become easy. This is all about the mind. So you have to control, like, look, and I switched it up because, look, the subconscious mind is what creates, right? But what gives the subconscious mind what to create is the conscious mind. So something is wrong with the conscious mind, the analyzing aspect of it, the objectiveness of it, the ability to take in new information at time, the ability to where a nigga come to you and be like, yo, using that, that's your indicator? You heard what they said about the indicator, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. They said that indicator. The dude that made it, he wasn't really a math dude.
This is just one of the doodads.
You feel me? But or maybe you could be like, yeah, but it worked for me. That's why I said make sure you test your system out because you don't want to fight with somebody that may know more than you because you haven't tested out whatever you wanted to test out. Scratch your itch. That's what they always say in relationships. Like I said, I think that's dangerous, right? Because kings want a virgin. So I understand scratch your itch. Oh, that's important though, right? Because you don't have any knowledge of it. So that's not even an itch that you want to scratch. Things are being forced on us. That's why I said earlier, stop worrying about the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is good because it creates. But do you know who leads the subconscious mind every time? The conscious mind. Even your environment. Look, the other day we spoke about environment. We were saying, yo, you could be born here, and you could speak that because of your environment. Bro, you could be in an environment, and the reason why they program you to be like the environment is because what they're consciously telling you. Your subconscious takes that in, which is your female mind, which don't do, like, just, I'm going to stop with it. No, I'm not. I tell you, I'm doing it every day. Empress, you can run this for 2 seconds.
Price move against us that we didn't understand, we often got out and looked for the reason later. I remember that market well. The currency futures markets were locked limit down for several days in a row after that announcement.
Exactly. I went off on a tangent because I really wanted Empress to chime in. But what he's saying is the same thing Empress do. And I was saying that's why I got on the fundamental versus technical analysis. Because, you know me, I'm like, man, that's bullshit. I'm not. Empress, don't be worrying about that. That's going to distract you. It's going to distract you because it's psychological, right? But that's what he's saying. The big heads, they're always going to tip their hats, right? What that mean to you? With me bringing you up on charges of you doing something different. As you going on.
You're going to sell off?
Exactly. No. So yeah, 100% fact, I mean. So you're looking at liquidation. You're looking at what whales dropping in. Because that's somebody tipping their hat. You like, hold on, babe. Nigga just took out 10 Bitcoin, bro. I don't think that's normal. Let me go check the address real quick. He took out 300 Bitcoin for this week. So you feel me? It's like you have to, like, that's the same thing that this brother is saying right now. He's saying that they tip their hats, meaning that before something drastic happened, you see things happening fundamentally. And that's the problem with only technicals. If you're only using technicals, then you damn near waiting for that reversal. You waiting for that story to change. And that's why I'm saying he told a story about Ed. Ed was in some coffee plate. And like I said, Ed don't have stop losses because Ed just followed the trends. But what happened was this trend, I guess, changed real quick for no reason. Just Ed didn't plan for it, and Ed took a loss. And what happens is you get locked in a position going down. How does that happen? Because this happened to me with Doge, right? Doge went up to 71, and what happened is you try to sell because you see your price at 77 or whatever, and they tell you that the only buy they got for your number is that's 36. And you say, what's going on? And you're like, no, I'm not selling at 36. Mm-hmm. And it still says 77, and then boom, it dropped to 65. And you're like, boom, let me sell at 65. Damn, no buyers at 65? That's how you get locked in positions. Mm-hmm. That's why people say markets crash. That's why they say don't go to sleep with shit, right? Mm-hmm. Because when the market get locked down, that means that it's going down, and your ability to sell in those smaller positions is not there. There's no liquidity. Nobody wants this right now, bro. We all see it falling, and we damn near bought some contracts. Yeah. We went over here and bought some options. Yeah, we bought options for that price. So that price that you're trying to sell it for me, I'm gonna get it for $50 cheaper. So I don't want to buy it from you, bro. I'm good. I'm just telling you that's what's happening, right? So you want to be careful also. So with Empras looking at those different sites to see who's liquidating or who's putting this much amount in, that could be your first step to going to say, oh, let me go check out the chart, see what the charts are saying right now. That could be your second step. Your third step, I tell you, I'm saving that to the end. Saving that one to the end, because that's a gem.
Must have gotten out right near the top of that market. We made a great exit on that trade. Anyway, my point is that I believe, as a courtesy, the European central banks are notified about major changes we're going to make, and they often act ahead of U.S. policy announcements. Consequently, the price move shows up in Europe first, even if it is because of something we initiate. If it's an action initiated by the Europeans, the price move is certainly going to occur there first. I think the best hours to trade are often in Europe. If I had a period in which I was going to devote my life to trading, I would want to live in Europe. Let's go back and fill in some of your trading history. Where did you go after you decided to give up on being a floor trader? I got a call from Amos Hofstetter, who had befriended me at Shearson. At the time, he was also trading some money for Commodities Corporation. Amos told me that I would be well advised to consider joining Commodities Corporation as a trader. At the time, their theory was that they were going to hire all these great econometricians to be traders. They had people like Paul Samuelson on the board. They brought up the idea of hiring me in a meeting. The first question was, what articles has he written? In what journals has he been published? I had a BA in liberal arts, and that was it. The punchline was, he just trades. Everybody thought that was very funny. But weren't they in business to make money trading? They didn't think it was possible to really make money unless you had a PhD, but Amos convinced them to give me a chance. I believe I was the first non-PhD trader they had ever hired. They started me out with $30,000 in August 1974. After about 10 years, I had turned that account into $80 million. Those were some very good years. Did you multiply that? I believe I was the first non-PhD trader they had ever hired. They started me out with $30,000 in August 1974. After about 10 years, I had turned that account into $80 million.
So in 10 years, he turned 30K into 80 million.
The original $30,000 into
80 million.
Or did they add money along the way? After the first few years, they gave me another $100,000 to trade. After that time, they were always taking money out. In those years, they were in an expansionary phase, and they taxed the traders 30% a year to pay for their expenses. So you had to make 30% a year to keep your account level. You must have had some incredible return years given the growth of your account, particularly under that handicap. I was making at least 100% a year for years and years. What was your best year? My best year must have been 1979. It was an incredible year. I caught gold when it went up to over $800. You caught the whole move? I was in and out, but I remember catching big chunks of it, $100 per ounce at a time. It was a wild time. In those days, I would buy gold in Australia. Hong Kong would push it up $10 higher. It would go up another $10 in London. By the time New York opened, I was able to sell out at a $30 profit. Sounds like there was an enormous advantage to buying gold in the overseas markets rather than in the United States. In those days, I had an advantage by being in California because I was up trading in Hong Kong when my New York colleagues were asleep. I remember when I heard about the invasion of Afghanistan on the television news. I called Hong Kong to see if anybody knew about it, and nobody seemed to. The price wasn't changing. I was able to buy 200,000 ounces of gold before anybody knew what was happening. That's 2,000 contracts. Did you have any liquidity problems with their taking on that size position in Hong Kong? No, they gave me the stuff, but of course they got fried by doing it. I was told on my last visit to Hong Kong that I shouldn't visit the gold floor. Some of the people still remember that episode. They knew who was on the other side of the trade. Yes, they knew. Did they think that you knew something? No, they probably thought I was just crazy coming in and buying all that gold. Then when the news broke out about 5 to 10 minutes later, everybody started scrambling. I had an immediate $10 per ounce profit on 200,000 ounces. It's hard to believe you could trade off the television news. I know, I had never done it before. That was the first, last, and only time, but I did do it. That particular gold market ended in a near vertical rise and fall. Did you get out in time? Yes, I got out around $750 on the way up. I felt sick when I saw gold go up to nearly $900, but later, when it was back down to $400, I felt much better about it. All in all,
Hey, Robert Kiyosaki stayed in.
You off?
I'm telling y'all, I'm not knocking traders. I'm not even knocking my brother Marcus. Marcus made some nice money. Imagine what could you heard him. I was kicking myself when I seen it go up to almost $900. What is gold at today? Let me go check.
1,000 something.
Easily, right? Easily. We don't even got a super check, but for sure we know easily it's at a band. There's no way gold is nothing less than a band. So let me check it for you. XAU USD. So this is the gold versus US dollar, 1,700. 1,700. So basically 2 bands. That brother could have ate. But like I said, take your wins, and whatever trader you are, you have to be satisfied with whatever you get, bro. That's why I don't really like being a trader, bro. Only trade to put money into your holding account. Me and Empras not using the hotline no more because there's too much confusion out here with you meme stalkers. The meme stalkers out here changing names because y'all scared, huh? Y'all think y'all shit about to go to zero. Y'all, I know y'all think them companies about to file for bankruptcy. I do too. Nigga, if I was in GME, what the fuck would GME possibly be? What's their plan? How can they go forward? Online gaming? Maybe that's a good plan. Cause they got a lot of money, bro. They made a lot of unnecessary money. Like, bro, that's the best way to do your business, bro. Put it on the public market, bro, and fundraise for that boy. For real. Let people know, yo, I have my stock publicly traded. Like, how matter of fact, I'm asking the question. I'm gonna Google it tonight. How to get your company on a publicly traded exchange.
Funds. Lots of it.
Damn. Is that what you think?
You need some initial investors.
Yeah, so you gotta pay to get on that. That makes sense though. I wouldn't think, why would they let you get on some shit and raise money for free? All right. Where we at? We still at, all right. So you could play it for right there because I want to see, because I know he got some gems. He's gem.
At that time, we had many wild markets. One of my rules was to get out when the volatility and the momentum became absolutely insane. One way I had of measuring that was with limit days. In those days, we used to have a lot of situations when a market would go limit up for a number of consecutive days. On the third straight limit up day, I would begin to be very, very cautious. I would almost always get out on the fourth limit.
Fundamentals.
And if I had somehow survived with any part of my position that long, I had a mandatory rule to get out on the fifth limit up day. I just forced myself out of the market on that kind of volatility. Your transition from being a losing trader to being very successful coincided with the big bull phase in the commodity markets during the early to mid 1970s. How much of your early success was due to your skills as a trader, and how much was just the markets? Honestly, I think the markets were so good that by buying and holding, you just couldn't lose. There were a lot of other success stories, fortunes being made, but a lot of those people didn't keep their fortunes. Now, it's true, but I was very fortunate. By the time the markets got difficult again, I was a good trader. By then, I'd really learned my craft. Also, by that time, I had the advantage of having become very knowledgeable in one market, cocoa. For almost 2 years, I traded almost nothing but cocoa because of the information and help I got from Helmut Weimar, the founder of Commodities Corporation. Helmut was an incredible expert on cocoa. He wrote a book that was so deep I couldn't understand the cover. Also, he had all kinds of friends in the business. With the knowledge and information I got from Helmut and his friends, I felt that I knew the universe of cocoa in a
He's about to explain all the news that he got from this brother Helmut, because Helmut was Helmut down in the sand, nigga, straight cocoa man, right? But Helmut, for some reason, maybe because he had a business to run, he was always losing. Maybe he was like, man, I'm not taking no L's. I gotta get out the position. I don't know what Helmut was doing, but Helmut had the ingenious plan. Helmut ended up retiring and getting the fuck out of that cocoa market. The cocoa market was doing nothing but him. Listen to the story.
A way that I had never known any market before. That phase of almost exclusive cocoa trading obviously came to an end. What happened? Helmut retired from cocoa trading. I assume Helmut was not nearly as successful a trader as you were. Let's just say that I traded much better on Helmut's information than he did. Excluding the early losing years, were there any trades that stand out as being particularly traumatic? Well, I would never let myself get caught up in potentially intimidating disasters. The worst situation occurred during my heavy currency trading period. I was doing well and could afford to hold large positions. One time I had a really large position in Dutch marks when the Bundesbank came in and decided to punish the speculators. I called in just around the time that all this was happening and found out that I was out $2.5 million in about 5 minutes. So I got out rather than see the $2.5 million loss go to $10 million. Then I had to endure the
within
disturbing
5 minutes,
experience of
OG
watching
was
the market
down
recover its entire
$2.5
fall.
million.
How long after you got out?
He
Half an hour.
cut his loss
Did you go
instead
back
of
in?
losing everything.
No, they had taken the start out of me by that point. In retrospect, do you feel you did the right thing by getting out of that trade? Yes, but it still hurt to realize that if I had sat it out and done nothing, I would have been okay instead of losing $2.5 million. Did you invest any of the money you were making in your trading, or did you keep?
That's why I always stress capital. All right, we all get into things that may have potential of working out for us in the longer term. If you don't have enough available capital, you have to be careful to get into positions like futures and options. Right, futures, options, day trading, those type of things. You have to be very careful getting in those positions. You have to have enough available capital. If you have enough available capital, you can handle the swings. I'm telling you, sometimes there's gonna be violent swings, bro. Like you just gonna be damn near at the top of the mountain, and somebody's just gonna drag you all the way up to the bottom. And you're like, yo, what's going on? And you're like, nah, you still on the leash, you good. Like you good, but you just don't have enough time to stay for that, because you came in and birthday break it went from 28 to 48. You like, man, what? And now you get caught at 48. Just think about it, bro. It's violent. And now you see it just falling 44, and you like, man, what's next? And you say, let me get out. Because they teach you, cut your losses. That's why I'm saying you have to figure out why you cut your losses. Is it in a trend? That's why I love technical analysis so much, because I can always verify why I could do stuff. Why am I cutting my losses? Why am I not cutting my losses? And if I lose not cutting my losses based on the technical analysis, I say, okay, cool. If I just lose just doing some shit out my asshole, I don't even know what I just did. I might do it again. Do it again. Like, yo, why you keep on doing it? What I did? Bro, you keep on staying in the place too long. Oh, I was up though. Bro, but bro, don't you see that everything going down? Like, why you still in the play and it's going down? Bro, it has to go up. It was at 44. It was at 48. Why is that 44? Why you ask so much questions? You feel me? That we start thinking we're too smart for our own good. Just get out, my brother. Like I said, with Bitcoin, if you're just buying and you holding, get your sats up. Don't never get out. If that bit fall, you buy more. Because look, this whole time you weren't supposed to be buying anything, so I don't even know who was buying anyways. You weren't supposed to be buying nothing right now, nigga, unless you was already in a trade and you was just playing in between the middle of it. You won't be buying nothing right now, bro. It's too high. It already ran from 28 to 48. Stay out. Right. Wait on the pullback. Right. I think a fair pullback would be 37. 37 might be a tad bit low. That's why I'm going to ask the Empras, like, man, 37, you think that's a bit much, bro. Wow, to go back down that low.
I think it's plausible if this milking situation keeps happening.
Based on the charts, though, the technical analysis, we've seen that we don't really have that much support after 42. So after 42, we're going straight to 37. If not, you feel me? I guess 39 for a little bit, but we don't have no support. All right, exactly. Can you show the chart?
With all of our indicators on?
Exactly. I need to start taking my indicators off. Don't put nothing on. Just play the book.
Keep plowing it back into your own account. I made a number of bad investments and lost a fairly large chunk of the money I had made trading. When I was trading big, I wanted to have a reason to keep doing it, so I just spent money wildly. At one time, I owned about 10 houses and ended up losing money on all of them. Some I sold before I'd even spent a single night in them. I had a plane charter service and lost a lot of money on that. At one point, I figured out that for every dollar I made trading, 30% was going to the government, 30% was going to support my planes, and 20% was going to support my real estate. So I finally decided to sell everything. It sounds like as wise as you were as a trader, you were naive as an investor. Yes, I was incredibly naive. Out of a fairly large number of real estate transactions, many in California, I lost money on all but one of them. I'm probably the only person alive that can claim that dubious distinction. Why do you think you did so poorly on your investments? I would do everything emotionally. I didn't analyze anything. In a sense, you were repeating the mistake of your early trading experience, getting involved in something you knew nothing about and then losing money. Didn't any bells go off? It almost sounds like you had a self-destructive instinct in losing your money elsewhere. Yes, absolutely. I probably lost more than half the money I made. During this period, when you were doing all these unwise things, didn't anybody try to grab you by the shoulders and say, "Do you realize what you're doing?" Yes, but anytime someone on my staff did, I would fire them. At one time, I was employing 60 or 70 people. In addition to all my money-losing businesses, I had a huge nut to make to just support the payroll. Frankly, a lot of the money I made just went down the drain. Did these losses have any of the emotional impact of losses in the market? The reason I ask is that you seem to talk about these investment losses very dispassionately. Yes, it hurt to realize what a fool I had been, but I've learned not to be as attached to material things. I accepted it as a life lesson. I learned I don't have to own a house in every beautiful place in the world. I can stay at a hotel and walk on the beach or climb a trail there. Or if I really feel like spoiling myself, I can charter a plane. I don't have to own one. Right, that certainly makes sense, but what I'm getting at is that I suspect that if you had lost the same amount of money trading, it would have been a much more traumatic experience. Is that because your ego wasn't attached to these other ventures? Yes, I'm sure that's true. I always felt that at least I was smart at one thing. I feel like trading is the only thing I'm really good at. If not for that, I probably would have wound up shining shoes. Do you think being a great trader is an innate skill? I think to be in the upper echelon of successful traders requires an innate skill, a gift. It's just like being a great violinist, but to be a competent trader and make money is a skill you can learn. Having been through the whole trading experience from failure to extreme success, what basic advice could you give a beginning trader or a losing trader? The first thing I would say is always bet less than 5% of your money on any one idea. That way you can be wrong more than 20 times. It will take you a long time to lose your money. I would emphasize that the 5% applies to one idea. If you take a long position in two different related grain markets, that's still one idea. The next thing I would advise is to always use stops. I mean, actually put them in, because that commits you to get out at a certain point. Do you always pick a point where you will get out before you get in? Yes, I've always done that. You have to. I would imagine in your case you can't actually put a stop in because your orders are too large. Yes, but my broker can hold it. When you place an order to get into a position, is it accompanied?
And that goes back to what I keep on stressing about the fundamentals with the technicals, right? So maybe you have a fundamental number where you're like, yo, if you go to this number, I'm getting in because I've been watching the chart, and every time that it hits this number, it seems to bounce back off of it, or I've never seen it even hit this number, and because I see it going back up, let me get in it now. You feel me? It's just, those are fundamentals. So you have to just keep, because I keep on stressing the difference between fundamentals and technicals. And there's a time for the fundamentals, but the fundamentals have to be backed up by technical analysis. The reason why is because you can just think something and feel something, because that's amazing in trading. But if the market says something different, you have to make sure you have enough capital to wait for that reversal, because maybe that is a good price. I don't know, right? Maybe it is a good price, but you won't really be able to tell until you have that retest. That's why corrections and retests happens, right? Because they want to figure out, yo, is this a fair price? People willing to pay this again? All right, can we keep it as a level? That's what that whole retesting thing is about.
When you try to incorporate someone else's style, you often wind up with the worst of both styles. I've done that a lot. Is it a problem because you don't have the same type of confidence in a trade that isn't yours? Exactly. In the final analysis, you need to have the courage to hold the position and take the risk. If it comes down to, I'm in this trade because Bruce is in it, then you're not going to have the courage to stick with it. So you might as well not be in it in the first place. Do you still talk to other traders about markets? Not too much. Over the years, it has mostly cost me money. When I talk to other traders, I try to keep very conscious of the idea that I have to listen to myself. I try to take their information without getting overly influenced by their opinion. I assume that we're talking about very talented traders, and it still doesn't use often wind up with the worst of both styles. I've done that a lot. Is it you're going to lose? Every trader has strengths and weaknesses. Some are good holders of winners, but may hold their losers a little too long. Others may cut their winners a little short, but are quick to take their losses. As long as you stick to your own style, you get the good and the bad in your own approach. When you try to incorporate,
And I'm telling you, there's only one thing that I could really point out that's super important about that. Like I said, we always stress mentors and have people that did it before you and following in the footsteps and not reinventing the wheel. But if you're not convinced, if you're not wholeheartedly convinced, like the brother Bob Proctor said that he didn't believe in himself, but he believed that bro believes in him wholeheartedly. So he had a conviction that the person that was saying something supported him. And that's all he needed. Listen to this again.
Someone else's winners of winners, but may hold their losers a little too long. Others may cut their winners a little short, but are quick to take their losses. As long as you stick to your own style, you get the good and the bad in your own approach. When you try to incorporate someone else's style, you often wind up with the worst of both styles. I've done that a lot. Is it a problem because you don't have the same type of confidence in a trade that isn't yours? Exactly. In the final analysis, you need to have the courage to hold the position and take the risk. If it comes down to, I'm in this trade because Bruce is in it, then you're not going to have the courage to stick with it. So you might as well not be in it in the first place. Do you still talk to other traders about markets? Not too much. Over the years, it has mostly cost me money. When I talk to other traders, I try to keep very conscious of the idea that I have to listen to myself. I try to take their information without getting overly influenced by their opinion. I assume that we're talking about very talented traders, and it still doesn't make a difference. If it's not your own idea, it messes up your trading. Right. You need to be aware that the world is very sophisticated, and always ask yourself.
So you keep on going back to the point that I'm stressing as far as full conviction, right? So if you're with somebody and you're not fully engaged or believing in the goals or the ideals that they have, then you need to have your own ideas, your own goals, and your own tribes. And the importance of that is because what you end up doing is getting the worst of all the things that you feel like he do good, which is all the worst. So he's saying it's typically better to develop your own trading style, right? Unless you're working as an analysis, like I said, there's firms, there's hedge funds, there is actual people that works under someone, and they're bringing plays and things to this lady, and then they're explaining why it's a good play. Like someone like Kathy Woods, right? She's sitting at the head of something, and she's like, all right, cool. Y'all rocking with that? Why y'all rocking with that? And whoever is analyzing these certain plays, that's a different system. But if you're trying to be your own trader, your own person, your own entity, you have to stay clear of other people ideals on the way we should do things, right? So because it's a tough balance.
How many people are left to act on this particular idea? You have to consider whether the market has already discounted your idea. How can you possibly evaluate that? By using the classic momentum type indicators and observing market tone.
So what he was explaining was as far as the fundamentals. So the brother asked him, well, how do you figure out if your ideas may be wrong? He said, bro, you just use the classic indicators, right? The momentum indicators, right? So just find you a good momentum indicator, figure out exactly what it's calculating, and read what's being said. Okay, it's no momentum. Is there momentum? Is there? Do you feel me? It's as simple as this. You can use fundamentals on indicators. If you don't understand what indicator mean initially, I think you should just go to YouTube and kind of figure out a couple of the Black Wall Street Bets, and just kind of figure out exactly what indicator mean. But if you just want to be super fast or just super fundamental, you can literally scrub through the whole indicator and figure out when there's an uptrend, what does the indicator indicate? When there's a downtrend, what does the indicator indicate? And that's just how you can just go off it real fast and just not having too much back story on it.
How many days has the market been down or up in a row? What is the reading on the sentiment indexes? Can you think of any good examples of market tone tipping you off on a trade? The most classic illustration I can think of is one of the soybean bull markets in the late 1970s. At the time, soybeans were in extreme shortage. One of the things pushing the market up was the weekly government reports indicating strong export commitments and sales. I was holding a heavy long position in soybeans, and someone from Commodities Corporations called
This is
me.
fundamentals he's using still.
He said, I have good news and I have bad news. I said, oh, okay, what's the good news? The good news is that the export commitment figure was fantastic. The bad news is that you don't have a limit position, that is the maximum permissible speculative position size. They were expecting the market to be limit up for the next 3 days. Actually, I wound up being a little depressed that I didn't have a larger position. The next morning, I entered an order to buy some more contracts on the opening, just in case I got lucky and the market traded before locking limit up. I sat back to watch the fun. The market opened limit up as expected. Shortly after the opening, I noticed a lot of ticks being recorded, as if the market was trading at the limit up. Then prices eased off limit up just as my broker called to report my fills. The market started trading down. I said to myself, soybeans were supposed to be limit up for 3 days and they can't even hold limit up the first morning. I immediately called my broker and frantically told him to sell, sell, sell. Did you get out of your whole position? Not only that, but I was so excited that I lost count of how much I was selling. I accidentally wound up being short a substantial amount of soybeans.
Right, so he used fundamental to kind of time this, right? And then what he did was, once he's seen that it was easing off the limit up for the 3 days, he said, fuck it, let me get out. He get out so fast, Empress, that he starts selling, and he overly sell. So it's like you being in Bitcoin and you say, man, sell, and you fuck around and press sell all on accident. But Bitcoin fuck around and drop below the price that you bought at to begin with. Mm-hmm. And now you buy it back at a goddamn $1,000, $2,000 premium. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So you got to kind of think about how it'll benefit you sometimes. So right now he's talking about how a mistake, this is the only time that a mistake ever benefited him, right? Mm-hmm. They're just showing you the market is weird in that sense that you can't time it. You can't technically analyze it. You can't use really nothing. It's just a gut feeling. Mm-hmm. But once the technical analysis go against it, then you say, okay, because like he was saying, he had a feeling that it was going to run. The technical analysis saying, yo, it's not running, it's coming back down. So he gets out. But he gets out so much that he don't have none left. So now he buys it cheaper than he bought it before. But in your mind, you might be like, it ain't going back lower than that. I'm just going to keep $1,000 in the play just so I can have a position already held. He fucked around and sold out all the positions.
Which I bought back 40 to 50 cents lower. That was the only time I made a lot of money on an error. I remember a situation just like that. It was the cotton bull market when prices almost reached $1 a pound. To this day, I recall I was long cotton, and the week's export figure came out showing 500,000 bales of exports to China. It was the most bullish cotton export figure I had ever seen, but instead of opening limit up the next day, the market opened only about 150 points higher and then started trading off. That proved to be the exact high. Another interesting example I remember occurred when we were in a very inflationary period and all the commodity markets were trading in lockstep fashion. On one particularly powerful day, almost all the markets went limit up. On that day, cotton opened limit up, fell back, and finished only marginally higher for the day. That was the market peak. Everything else stayed locked limit up, but cotton never saw the light of day again. Is the implied rule that if you find a common behavior between markets, you want to sell the one that is lagging as soon as it starts heading down? You absolutely want to put down a bet when a market acts terribly relative to everything else. When the news is wonderful and a market...
Meaning if you have an indicator going one way, but for some reason you see some candles or some weird shit going the other way, you say, let me lock in a bet right here too. Right? And then whenever the decision is made, because when the decision is made and you're in a good place, it's going to run for a certain amount of time. It's going to run for about a 2 days. It's going to run for a day or so. So you'll be able to make some profits on both. So you cut your loss. Maybe you down $70, $80. You cut your loss at $80 loss, but you fucked around and run up $7,000, $800. But if you'd have stayed in that play, you'd have been at $7,000, $6,000. So you feel me? It's just depends on how you're doing it. If you're a trend follower, if you're somebody that uses indicators and you say, yo, my indicators are right, I got an algorithm, my algorithm work, then you rock with the algorithm. But you always want to, because the market is so tricky at times, especially nowadays, that is so much retail hands and so much people that actually kind of have the same tools as market maker or one of those bigger whales, because a lot of the smart traders, what they do is they stay out of that pool, right? They don't trade in the NASDAQ and stuff like that. They say they stay in a smaller pool with retail hands because they're not as patient as the big money, but they're more patient than the small money, right? So you just got to find somebody that you're more patient than. Maybe you're able to get into something like SHIB. Stop saying that stupid shit. I be saying that because it sounds like the word shit. But maybe you can get into something like one of those plays, right? You get into something like that, and that's a small cap. And you in it. Matter of fact, let me just show y'all something about small cap, because Empress asked me earlier about how was the stock market. The whole time we've been talking about the crypto market. Let me say the stock market. This is based on what I have over here. I told y'all the other day, the last podcast, I said, but buy Moderna. I don't know if Moderna did good. I'm just talking right now. Monday.com did good. What is Monday.com? It's a project management to organize shit. Romeo Power is an energy technology company focused on designing and manufacturing lithium-ion batteries. Throw that boy on 76 too while you going out there. Water Drop Inc. is a technology platform dedicated to insurance and healthcare service. Microvast is down. Romeo Power is down. Zevia is up. This got to be some type of fucking Yeah, this is the beverage jar. This is exactly Zevia. Yeah. Me and Empress know about Zevia. I'll tell Empress about Zevia when she come back. Empress know about Zevia. Let me follow Zevia. Matter of fact, I didn't even know Zevia was being publicly traded. Danamere Scientific Inc. creates more sustainable, more natural ways to make plastic products sold under the propriety. Bro, that word just fucking whooped my ass, bro. What the fuck? But nevertheless, nigga, XRP is up to $1. Nodac's brand name, the company's renewable, sustainable biopolymers have helped create plastic products that are 100% biodegradable and compostable. 10 cent down, App 11 is up. Yeah, so let me go to Yahoo Finance really fast. Man, Empress, bro, word just whooped my ass so much, bro. I was waiting for you to come back, bro.
What happened?
Word just whooped my ass so bad. I've been waiting for you to come back. I said that shit 10 times to the people. The people like, man, they do not know how to say that word, boy.
What's the word?
This P word that I know, bro. Like, I read the whole shit, nigga. I fucked around and read biopolymers. But I don't know this little
Proprietary?
P. Yes, bro, that word right there.
Proprietary.
That's an English word right there.
Huh?
That's a real Englishman word right there.
Proprietary.
Yeah, that shit don't mean nothing. That shit don't mean nothing to me. Goldman Sachs.
It's a tongue twister because it's like propri pimping.
Hey, Goldman Sachs got some plans out. And you know I fuck with Goldman Sachs, but it's a Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs sees sharpest 30-day climb since the last run of 2K. Gold price has settled back from last year's breakneck highs, but don't expect that to last long. $1 trillion government deficit and panic over higher than expected inflation is triggering a new run on the shiny metal. So Goldman Sachs said they see gold doing some pumping. Right. Me and Empress, we always looking at commodities. So whatever pop up, we're gonna let everybody know what's popping up. But I'm going on y'all.
Yeah.
Palantir buys 51 million in gold bars. Accept payment in gold. That was Palantir doing, right? So Palantir's on the gold wave. So everybody's scared of inflation, right? And what's going on is gold fell, crypto ran. I shouldn't even said that shit. Shout out to that brother, man. All right. Shout out to the crypto Banta family. All right. Shout out my boy Sheldon. Sheldon be over there dumbing out on some shit and they go some fucking charts. Right. So shout out to them brothers over there doing some good work also, right? Gold fell. Matter of fact, the whole commodities market in the sense of gold, cotton, goddamn, I don't know. Let me not say the whole commodity market based on what I was watching. I'm staying in that zone because I wasn't really watching U.S. oil like that. But gold, GBP, all of the commodities in the sense of coins, like different countries' currencies fell. Everybody currency. If you had a sell open, you was up. I had a sell open on GBP. I don't know if anything changed right now, but I was up $1,500 earlier. Yeah, I'm up 50. See, I don't even want to show people my whole shit. Let me screenshot this time. So I'm up $1,500 on a sell for GBP. I had a sell for XAU that I closed out, and what I did was it's wild. I'm just gonna show y'all what I did. Show y'all my reports. Just look at this shit right here. Just look at the reports. Zoom in. So that's $700 right there. That's an L, and that's a sell on. That's a sell on Euro. All right, so both the sales on Euro got smacked, right? But I closed them out. And then now you see everything being blue. This is a buy. So I had a buy on gold, right? I had a buy on gold from just, look, I'm just showing you, this is how fast it grows, right? I had a buy on gold from 1802.94. I got out of gold 1813.42. I made a band right there. I was in the New Zealand boy versus the USD in a buy. So I bought the New Zealand boy at 69.663. And I got out the New Zealand boy at 69.737, made $74 right there. The GBP that I told you that I'm benefiting off the sales, I was down the whole time while I was making all this money on the buys. Check this out. The GBP, right? The GBP, I bought it at 1371 and got out of it at 1389 and made a band from that one. Basically two bands, 1700. Right? GBP again, 136 to 138. So I basically got out of all those plays at the same time. I got out of all the GBP at the 138. So I just probably just went through and just kept on closing them out. But what I did was every time I made money, Empress, I pyramided, because the brother said that earlier in the book, and I just wanted to just bring that kind of clear to the folks. What pyramiding is you start an account with $500, right? And you get into a good play, and that play go up $3,000. Now you up $3,000. Now you have more money available. Now you basically got $3,500 in the account. Now you take that and you buy another buy based on how it's running. You feel me? So like that, based on how it's running, you keep on putting money to thing that's running that you did, because you don't change up. What I mean by that, you don't go somewhere else. Like the reason why you see me in a New Zealand boy and this boy and this boy is because I initially started out in the Euro and the GBP. Mm-hmm. What I did was I had an itch to scratch, and I never played the New Zealand boy. So I was trying to figure out, like, what is this? How does this work? But what I was doing was using the algorithm just to see if the algorithm worked, that I could just be trading anything, because I seen the New Zealand boy moving choppy. So I jumped in New Zealand boy and made some money. So like I said, you're able to do it. Mm-hmm. And I've been playing the GBP. Everything's been a buy. So the gold, like I said, gold went down so low. I was telling everybody, I wish I was calling the sales. Bro, GBP went, I think, to 17, if not a little bit lower than that. It probably just fell back. Yeah, because when we just told the folks it was at 17, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so it's at 17. And look, when I was in it, I had a sell from 1807 to 1802, and then I got out. So I just made $410 right there. But then right here, I had a buy at 1802. So look, when I sold, when I got out of the sell, because I'm looking at the indicators, right? So I got out of the sell because the indicator said get out the sell, and I made $410. Then I got into a buy, and I rolled it all the way to 813, and I made $1,000. So in the sell, I made $410 before they told me to get out. That's why I said you don't get too greedy, because there's something else they're telling you to get into that's gonna make you more than that. people, they say, man, bro, you sure? I'm up 700. Get out right now. And it's like, yeah, just get out. And then you get in the buy and the buy down because the sell runs for a little bit longer. It don't immediately stop because you don't yeah, you know, it don't stop. So it's gonna run a little bit more, bro, and you just gotta have enough available capital, bro.
You gotta think you and 40 other niggas just talking about the same thing simultaneously.
And that's the first thing he said, bro. He was like, bro, you have to have your own way of trading because if you're listening to, like I just said, I just shouted out
cell phone text messages.
Because what I said, Empress, I was like, you funny as fuck, niggas calling signals and shit for you. But I was just telling the folks that commodities fell, the currencies, all these countries' currencies fell, and crypto ran. So I went out to shout out the Crypto Banter family. I had to shout out Sheldon, nigga. I'm like, man, yeah. Bro, the crypto ran from 37, bro, to 48. And the gold fell, bro. The gold was falling, bro. And that's why I was saying I wish I had a sell on gold. But don't get too greedy because you remember me and Empress was over here eating on the BTC buys. So you can't get too greedy and say, man, I wish I would, because I kept on telling Empress that, like, man, bro, I want to be trading the commodity. But what was happening though, well, by the time that me and Empress was thinking about trading, it was Friday. If you know anything about the Forex, right, as far as currencies, they don't trade on Saturdays. Friday after 5 is shut down till Sunday at 5. So 5 p.m. Friday to Sunday 5 p.m. So these boys work on the Sabbath almost. I'm a currency trader. These boys are Sabbath workers. They don't play with the Sabbath. They start at 5 o'clock. They close everything down by 6 o'clock. They at the house chilling because they can't be at the house. But they do it a little more extreme where they come out Sunday after 5 p.m. I like that shit too. I like it too because the Sabbath is so holy. You feel me? You don't want to get out of it too fast and just like trance back over. You want to give it a day. You want to rest. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait till the sun go down tomorrow. Shout out to these niggas, bro, because I like it, bro. I've been peeping, and I'm like, yo, the fact.
So you saying they come back Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday at 5.
Do they state that, or you just?
Oh no, I trade. You know,
okay,
I trade. Yeah. As soon as Sunday 5 p.m. start, the currency start back moving.
And you're saying this is for Forex, not for all the other exchanges.
That's an interesting question. Does the market move on other days? I don't think so. I think I checked it before.
Stock market for sure, no.
No, the stock market, everything is normal. Because even Bitcoin, the crypto market, it has a calendar. It has like we checked it out one time the way they do the hours, right?
Yeah.
So at a certain hour it ends. It's like a little span, like a little that nothing is going on.
It's at 12 a.m., right?
Is it?
Yeah. 12 a.m. If you go on it, you look at it and it's like down 0.0 something percent. It's like, well, I just seen it down 59%. But because it's a new trading day at 12 a.m.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So
that's how it get halted. But yeah, I definitely want to peep into that some more. But yeah, when I figured this out, I was like, oh man. And we figured out the other little gimmicky. So it's things to do, right? But like I said, bro, just have enough available capital. If you have enough available capital, then as long as you're following the simple rules, you're gonna always win. Losses are gonna be losses. As long as you follow the simple rules in the long term, you're gonna win. The brothers say, bro, I was a bad trader, but I was a bad trader during the good times. So by the time the good times is up, I was finally a good trader. You just gotta stay in it long enough, bro. You feel me? You gotta keep on throwing the fastball. They keep on hitting your fastball not fast enough.
Because understand that there's going to be someone that's like, bro, I want my money now. They're gonna take it out of mass, and it's gonna enable other people to do the same thing that had no intention of doing it. Because they have that fatigue. They don't want to be watching the charts all day. It's like, bro, I'd rather buy higher than having to watch it and my money just go to 28 or wherever they feel like it could possibly go. So understand that it's always going to go down a little bit more than expected by like your terms, just because that's how the market is, bro. But it's going to go back up.
The psychology of humans, bro. When people wake up and they see something down, they say, yo, let me get out before we keep on going down.
Exactly.
And that causes a bigger snowball effect. But the great traders, what they do is they find a way to stay in the market.
Wait for their 3 indicators.
Stay in them. I'm telling you, bro.
Everything else is irrelevant now. Candles, fundamentals, all of it's irrelevant because it just doesn't check off. It's like, wait, what's going on here?
The market messy, bro.
But once you have algorithms in place and like artificial intelligence not working for one group of people, then you start to realize how relevant it is. But yeah, it's just all about where you're at, bullish, bearish.
Because right now the fundamentals, everybody's seeing something. Somebody saying, yo, they keep on taking out inflows, outflows. You feel me? Everybody's saying something fundamentally, but it's like
irrelevant. It's like, all right, well, what are you saying?
Yeah, like what is it doing? Like what's going on? Do you know what's gonna happen? Is it gonna like
you can't tell us who's doing it, why, like you have to go to TA now, and it's like, oh.
We just gotta wait, bro.
Okay.
You feel me? You just seeing the market. And like I said, what happens is if you're a trader, you can just understand the psychology. If you wake up and you see you down, or you see, because I tell you, a lot of people bought at the 48. A lot of people buy at the highs, so you can't forget that. And those people that bought at the high, they stay in all the way to 44, and then they say, "Man, I gotta get out. I gotta get out before we go to fucking 50. I mean, before we go to 30 or 20." Then I lose everything. You feel me? So you got to also think about that too. So just don't worry about what's going on. But I knew it was going to be a fall today because, like I said, even when I was checking out the charts, I don't usually do this, but last night I randomly just jumped into the comments and I was like, what is people in here saying? And when I see people saying, I'm like, oh, these people aren't serious. They're treating it just like they're treating the meme stocks, bro. I heard somebody throw a bunch of meme stocks in there with Bitcoin. I'm like, oh, that ain't what we doing. No. Only Bitcoin running. But she was like, the person was like, yo, agree with what you think. You think these running? Like, nigga, this shit say running. Nigga, this shit is bullshit. See if I can find it, bro. That was the funniest shit I seen last night, bro. Oh my gosh.
My journal got to be called constructive buys.
See, and this is what I was telling y'all. See, now if you got enough capital, then you will see what I'm telling you. The market is back. And you could have got a buy at 44 too. For $1. But can you risk taking a beating? Can you risk taking a beating?
Because it's following the uptrend. It just broke out of my downtrend.
That's what I'm saying. Can you risk taking a beating, though?
That's what the retest.
This it.
Like, ooh, no. It just jumped up on my John, so I just got updated.
Yeah, but on the 2 hour, it's still in a downtrend. On the 4 hour, it's still in a downtrend. But this is what I'm telling you.
No, they're all in downtrend.
No, they're not. This is a nice thing to show people. Can you put it on the screen real quick? Yeah, we're about to end this off. Matter of fact, where we at right? Yeah, just put this on the screen. We're about to end this off. Definitely, man, hit me. We're gonna go into the book a little bit more. I'm still here. Like, this is gonna be this how we handling Taco Tuesday. We're just going through the technicals, bro. I'm just reading these books. Reading these booksies. These booksy wooksies. People gotta get on these knowledge, man. I think a lot of us sleep at the wheel. The wheels at the sleep.
You can see it.
Yeah. All right. So I just want to see the MACD right now. You ain't got to really show me the candles.
Right here?
Yeah, go down some down.
So over here?
Yeah. So you at the bottom. I just wanted to see the full size of the MACD candles. Because I don't know if that's a full size. So is those the whole candles though? All right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as long as that's the whole branch of it. Blah. So now, what time frame are you on right now?
4 hours.
All right, now going to 15. Look, what do you see?
Uptrend.
Sell pressure. I mean, yeah, buy pressure building, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now go on the 30 or 20, whatever you want to go into next. Building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Building.
All right, but pay attention to what just happened with the 30. That's the 30 you on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the 30. See, and that's what I'm saying. If people had enough capital and you were watching it from the 15, you'd have been able to get that earlier entry back there. The first entry right there that Empress is looking at.
That's
just look.
This is 15.
Just look. Yeah. No. I know where it's at, but I'm just saying I know where the price is at too. So that's when the reversal started.
No.
When did the first green parabolic star start?
Oh yes. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's the beginning of the uptrend right there, based on that indicator. Right, and that's on the 15. That just shows you how further back you could have went and caught this time.
It closed at 44.936.
Because 30 is 2 15s. So for every 30, I get 2 opportunities to see what's happening. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to always be one ahead of the faster. So right now, what we're seeing is, and what I'm trying to show y'all is, big, go on to 5 real quick.
5 what minute?
Mm-hmm. See, now this is when they get tricky. But what you have to understand is that we've seen this before. If you go back, because you see how the last 2 on the MACD is dark and then light.
Mm-hmm. Go
back, and then you see it's another dark and light.
Dark.
You feel me? Here? Oh, so no, that's the next candle. That's the next candle. That's dark again. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen that. So that could be symbolizing a downtrend coming. Mm-hmm. And that's on what time frame? That's a 5 minute. Mm-hmm. Going to 10. To just show y'all that this is how you figure out. But now on the 10, when does that next candle finish? When does the last candle finish? Oh, no, it's a candle over there. But that's not a candle. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2 o'clock.
Boom. So that candle finishes at 2 o'clock. But this exact next on the 10 minute though, everything is green. Pressure. Cool. Going to 15. So like I said, the 5 minutes showed us basically it dying out. But you got to think about the 5 minute. Boom. See, this is exactly what I wanted to see. This is the 15?
Yes.
This is looking troubling. Why am I saying this is looking troubling?
Because it switched back to that lighter pressure.
On the bigger time frame. Let's go to the 30.
You gotta be doing those 7 minute trades.
I'm telling you. If you don't find a super early entry, now you boom. But look at the 30. What is the 30 you on? Mm-hmm. Look what the 30 is showing.
And it's below the cloud.
Look what the 30 is showing. Right? Now go to the hour. On the hour, we just went into a green uptrend, right? Mm-hmm. This is what I'm telling you. It's no way you can lose in this. I'm saying that out of cockiness based on the algorithm. Now go to the 2 hour. What is the 2 hour? It's still in a downtrend. But look at the downtrend pressure.
Right.
This is what you like. You like to see that the downtrend is dying off on the bigger time frames. You want to see everything is adding up to the same thing. I wish I could show y'all what I'm telling you as far as not an entry, because I told you next week what we're gonna do. We're just gonna get on the screen, put the screen next to us, bro. We're just gonna talk and trade. But earlier, what I wanted to show y'all is on the 5 minute, right? On the 5 minute, it was saying that it was an uptrend, but uptrend was dying off. It was really not even there. On the 10 minute, it was saying it was in a downtrend. 15, it was in a downtrend. Hour, it was in an uptrend. You feel me? Those stuff, you don't get into that because nothing in that makes sense. So you telling me in a shorter time frame, I'm in an uptrend, but in the middle time frame, I'm in a downtrend. It's not going to work out good for me, because what's going to happen is the 15 is going to continue to fall, and you will also see it by the MACD. So what we see it on the MACD is every level we go up, it's adding up, right? So we seen started from the 5 minute where the green got bigger and stronger and bigger and stronger. The last two was light scan, so we went to the 10 minute.
Yeah, 10 minute, 30 minute were light and pressure. 15 minute was heavy pressure.
Just think about what's going on, and now things are dying out.
5 light, 10 light, 15 light.
Things are dying out.
30 still pressure.
See, but hold on. When does the 30 minute end? Because this to be interesting.
30 minute ends at.
No, that's not the last candle. Yeah, that one.
2:05.
Okay, so 2:05. And that's a 30 minute. Going to 15. And what time the 15 end?
Shoot.
At 2, right?
Oh, God.
Dang, like you froze out there.
Okay, wait. It gotta be 2:05.
You froze. It's something weird. Oh, there you go.
You see it?
What's that say? 2:05? Okay, so both of those end at 2:05. But this is the 15 that's light, and the 30 is still dark. Okay, so now this is when it's getting a tad bit troubling, and that end on 2:05 too. So what's the hour? When does the hour end?
Huh? They're all ending 2:05.
Damn, see, I'm in a position that I might have to call me a sell right now, boy. The pressure look like it's dying out. I went in and called a buy based on the 15, the 30, the hour just went into reversal, but the hour is in the cloud, so the hour is a no buy, meaning that there will be a pullback on the hour. The 2 hour, the down pressure is dying, meaning that there's an upswing coming on the 2 hour. And the 4 hour is a tad bit weird because the down pressure look like it's dying, but not a lot. It actually just went into a super downtrend.
On the 4 hour?
2 candles ago, yeah. That was the candle that you see, right? And then it went into 2 greens. So that might just be those small push-ups to pull back. Because they do that also. So I'm going to see if we can, irk something out of this trade and make some money. But that's it, bro. You just got to make sure you have enough capital, bro, because your bet may be right.
It's in an uptrend.
Yeah. Based on the trend, your bet may be right. Because look, the hour just went into an uptrend. The 2 hour is still not in the uptrend. I doubt the hour is going to literally flip back into a downtrend one fucking bar. I'm just telling you, it's not going to happen. So we're looking healthy right now. We're looking healthy. But based on the bigger time frames, there's still some adjustments that may happen. Meaning there's still some pullbacks. Still some pullbacks. And based on the candles, right? Based on the candles don't show. Can you zoom out a little bit? Let me see a little more candles. Yeah, the candle don't. The candle don't show a uptrend. I guess it ain't bad because we have this big green right here during the down. And if you go back, we had two big greens during this down. Right? So we had two big greens right here behind your line. And then we had these little small reds. Still nobody to even up with the two big greens. Then we had another big green. Then we had a big red. And now we had two greens. And that green that you got right there, the first one, right? The first one that's right next to the red, that's called a hammer. That's usually looked at as a bullish signal. So even if you were just reading the charts, after you seen this and then you seen the second John develop like this, maybe you wouldn't buy yet because the trend said not to buy, but there's still an entry coming. And that's what I'm saying. If you have enough capital, there's no way you can lose by getting the entry right now. Especially if you get an entry at 44. If you can find one of those 44 entries, you looking good.
It's almost about to be overbought on 2-day RSI, 14-day RSI. They ain't doing nothing. They're not impressed. Let me see the other 85.7.
So the room don't say buy.
None of this is buy right now. A rune, because if it was buy for the RSIs, it got to be below 30.
All right, now go back to when this run started. This is on the hour, so just change the time frame.
To hour?
Yeah, just go to 15 on the smaller time frames. And you see the all right.
114, 107.
So on the smaller time frame, there's still a buy. So the reason for using the MACD, so go on the 4 hour with the MACD.
Wait, why are you saying there's a buy?
Because your up is at 100 now. And your down is at 7.
But that's one indicator.
And then now you got the parabolic SARS, which is your second indicator.
And it's in an uptrend, so that means buy if it's in an uptrend?
That's the only time you should buy. If you're buying based on the trend.
That's it.
Only time you buy in a downtrend is at the bottom of the MACD saying that it's a changeover. That's the importance of the MACD, right? So if these are going green parabolically and you seeing that these are staying strong, then that means it's not going to end.
Right.
But if you see these dying off, that's what I'm saying, going to 4 hour.
The volume's going down.
So now in the 4 hour, it's ending, right? So look, they're getting smaller, one. This one's smaller and it's lighter. So now you're saying, oh, so now this is going to end. So now they're telling you the downtrend is going to end. But on this other time frame, they're telling you that the uptrend, even an uptrend is getting stronger.
Is this a hammer?
What it is, I can't really see. That's a hammer also. And that's on the 4 hour. What about the 2 hour? 2 hour got a hammer also.
2 hammers?
That's what I'm saying. So, and then look at the look what they say, 85.71, right? No, matter of fact, the last one is 78. The room.
78.35.
Okay, so you wouldn't buy on the hour, right? You would look for another position, but that's what I'm saying about the rune. Like only trying to use one indicator, you will find a spot but sometimes it may be a little later than you wanted.
Yeah. And the fact that the 2-day one says overbought, is it a good idea to buy when it's overbought?
You want to pull back.
Yeah.
You
So
wanna
that's what
pull
I was
back.
saying, because I was like,
But check this out. This is what I always tell you. Go back into this green uptrend.
What you mean?
Just drag it back and look. You see this where it's green?
Mm-hmm.
Look how the room look. So now you see that it seems like BTC performs well at these levels, but it still dies. So now go back. I want to see a longer green trend. See how it performed when it lasts for a minute.
That's not long.
None of them really. Dang. None of them really long.
Let's do 4 hours.
No, yeah, I'll say 4 hours. Yeah, we want that big bro from the bottom all the way up here. So you can just go to the bro all the way up here. Zoom in on them. Alright, but did you see the other side though?
RSI is overbought on a 2-day.
But you see it though?
Mm-hmm.
So it runs in those levels, right? Like because now you add your fundamental to the technicals.
Mm-hmm.
And you saying, I don't really like it being overbought too long, because whenever it's overbought too long, it has a sharp pullback. But it still remain in the uptrend, because look, even with it being down here, look, it's still going up. So you feel me? You have to just figure out. But now look how this is dying off. It's dying off, but it's still not telling you to get out. But you can get an early exit. But watch what happens. Keep on going over. Just watch it happen.
So is that?
Nah, just keep on going over, yeah. And then zoom out. I want to see the top of the chart.
All right, let me get the 3.
Yeah, I can't see
right
nothing.
Here it starts red.
Blah. See, because once you see, because look, these reds came, but you're not worried. But you're seeing that something don't look right. So now this is just to get people back in there, to get you stuck up here, because you already see that it's in a red trend, and it's continuously getting bigger. But now it's lightening up. Now you can get an entry. You see, now you a buy right here.
This not the best one? Or you want to wait till it gets in?
Yeah, you can buy right there. That's what I'm saying. You can buy wherever. But the risky thing about buying super red is that the next one might be just as red.
Okay.
You feel me? So to confirm your buy, you feel me? Sometimes it's good to get an early entry. And that's what I was saying with the early entries. Capital. Right? So sometimes the early entries is good, but make sure you have enough capital and a stop loss. Because you don't want to be stuck in one of those plays for too long. You feel me? Just in case something go belly up or something weird. Man, I'm normal. As far as my cam, I ain't really on cam. I'm about to end a little bit anyway, but I'm just saying you can really check me down there. But yeah, this is an interesting chart, bro, because it's super choppy. But this is what I'm showing you as far as the RSI though. Bitcoin kind of trades with its RSI looking weird.
And this is okay. Well, let me see. 100 really quick. This is what another 14 did. Yeah. 100, they don't really tell you much. I realized that earlier. Just steady line. Doesn't do much.
They ain't know nothing.
That's funny.
But yeah, nevertheless, you just got to depend. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You have to figure out what the indicators are showing. That's why it's called an algorithm.
I was trying 21. Had a little bit more momentum as far as up and downs.
None. Those are all pointers because the one that you got, both of these, whatever this top one is, is showing you something. Like I said, whenever it's showing you the spikes and the dips, that's what you want to see. Because you want to figure out what levels it trade between. What is these things showing? Okay, when it's super low, what is that showing? Okay, that's showing that it's in a red. Okay, when it's up, that means it's going in a green then. That means that it's like to be, you feel me? That means that it like to be sold in the up. I mean, it meant like to be bought in the up. Whenever the RSI start working itself up, that's a good sign based on what we have been seeing in the John. Every time there's an uptrend, niggas start overbuying it. So
that's it.
What it is?
This is one.
The rune.
No, that's RSI.
But the rune looks sloppy as hell too. That's
but literally, boom, 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 boom. This one's hard. Just like looking at the 1 minute chart.
But what's happening is the down pressure dying and the up pressure dying. The up is at 0 now, but the down is also low. So this is what I'm telling you about. This is not a divergent. This is not a bullish divergent or a bearish divergent. This is it's nothing. This is the two niggas coming to change over, bro. This is a change of the gods right now that we're about to witness. You just gotta have enough capital, bro. If you got to see, man, I was just down. I said I was just up good, but now I'm down, man. Because look, remember I was saying in the 4 hour. Let me go back on that. Okay, we still good on the 15. We still good on the 30. We still good on the hour. And we still good on the 2 hour. Yeah, if you in the buy right now with BTC, stay. There's something coming. Like I said, just have enough capital, bro. I wish I had enough capital. I'll put the dollar in right now. I'm so confident on a buy based on the indicators that we just showed y'all at the end of this cast. Don't thank everybody. Empras, you got some flashes doing another?
I'm trying to see if indicators on here.
Okay.
No, I let it. Excuse me, took it off.
What?
Oh, no, it's right here. Wait, hold on a second. What the heck?
Yeah,
this one with the cloud. Look how separated it is. I'm not going to show them this chart though.
Yeah, that's the entry right there also though.
Would it be an spread out? That's a divergence. Okay.
Now are you trying to figure out which direction is saying? But because you see that the red continuously getting light on your MACD, like I said, just continuously use a multitude of them. Then you can confirm. Because right now you're looking at it, you're like, damn, what does that really mean? It's like, bro, but
that's in the cloud.
Yeah, see, and that's the risk of only listening to one. But that, bruh, to me, I like them so much. Like I said, I still use the DC too because I love DC, but
it's risky.
You just stay out of the clouds in general, nigga. Like I said, maybe it may work out for you because if you turn off the clouds, who the fuck says clouds there, right? You just have one of DC and be like, yo, I don't even know about the clouds, dude. So I ain't knocking you if you don't know about the clouds, but be careful, bro, because there's clouds. You might run into them shits.
Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty, guys, and that is the conclusion of episode 112 of Black Wall Street Bets Taco Tuesday, where we talk about currency only. Until next time, we will be back Friday with the Freestyle Friday. Thank you so much Professor Ras Natty for your information and all your pearls. And give your flowers right now, brother. Let you know I'm grateful and thank you for your flowers and your pearls. Until next time, peace.
Peace.